Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tardis Zone Live. I am sorry I am late tonight. There was a Manchester United match on. It was the Carabao Cup. So I decided to give it a bit of a watch. I've only started to put the link up everywhere. So we'll see if there's anybody in the chat yet. There's nobody in the chat yet. So we'll just give it a couple of seconds. Because obviously I am unfortunately late, and I'm sorry about that. Please forgive me. But we'll go for an hour. And yeah, because we've got a very busy week ahead. So again, we'll be on Rabbi's channel tomorrow. More details about that, obviously, very, very soon. But yeah, there's loads of stuff going on. And it's going to be very interesting to see if you will all enjoy what's going to be happening. Obviously, you know, yourself, Rabbi does come up with some great ideas sometimes. I'm sending the link. If you could do me a favor to give me a bit of a head start, if you wouldn't mind sharing the link for me, because as I said, I am running behind. So I'm literally, as I'm speaking to you right now, I'm literally sharing this link to everybody that I know. So if you could do the same, I really appreciate it. Let me see. I've got to get the Ninja Knight. Oh, where's Ninja Knight? Because we Ninja Knight, there he is. Just make sure. Hey Emma, hey Daniel. Nice to see you. Welcome. Don't forget the Tardis Zone talks on Friday. So if you've anything you want to talk about, get off your chest, or you know yourself, you're more than welcome to come on. Once you keep it civilized, as I said, it's open to everybody. I finally blocked that account that's being given. I've just had enough, you know. I'm not engaging with these people anymore. It's because that's what they want, and I've gotten to the point where what is the point, you know? Yeah, I made the decision last night to do that, and you know, already peace and quiet. So, you know, you can tell the difference. If people still can't see what's going on with that account, there's nothing I can say to you anymore. You know, I mean, if they're clearly there to cause problems. They're not there for any other reason but to cause problems for people that have a different opinion, and basically, you know, have a problem with anybody expressing any type of emotion. It looks like you can't say nothing at all. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know where this came from in the fandom. You used to be able to have an opinion, and yes, as I said to someone on Twitter, yeah, people disagreed with you, you know, and they'd also, but here was the thing, they might have disagreed with you, but they gave you their point of view, but it wouldn't get personal. You know, you would go off at the end of having the conversation, and you'd still be, you know, you'd still talk to each other. It wasn't, you know, that anybody made personal, because for the simple reason is, you know, we do talk how much this show means to us all, but at the end of the day, it is just a TV show. Do you know what I mean? So these people need to relax and get over themselves and understand that, you know, we're going to have different opinions. We're going to, you know, not always agree. But at the end of the day, listen, as I said, I don't care if people actually like this era. The problem I have is the people that like the era don't like the people that dislike this era. And the difference is the people that like this era go after the people that don't dislike this era. But then when the people that don't like this, this era defend themselves, then they're the bullies. They're the ones. They're the ones that are initiating most of the badness in the fandom. Now there was Doctor Who news as such. There was it was left on one of my videos. So they announced some. Hold on, I'll get it up. Some Doctor Diamond. What's this Doctor Who announcement? What was it again? We'll just go press Doctor Who news, see what happens. What comes up here? Where is it? News. There was something. Well, there's a Radio Times podcast, The Future and the Past of the Fugitive Doctor. If anybody is interested in that, Radio Times just dropped that. So it looks like an hour ago, Ian's record. Ian had the two Guinness World Records for the most merchandise, but it looks like the world's biggest collection after spending 100,000. So someone else is at the breaking the record. Where is this bloody thing that they announced yesterday? Was it yesterday or the day before? They made some sort of announcement. Is it Dimensions in Time or something? What was it called? If anybody knows what I'm talking about. Hold on. Why is it not coming up? See, I find that strange if that's such big news, yeah? There you go, Ninja Knight. I'm about to put the link in the chat for you, make it easier. I'll tell you what we'll do. We do talk, so we'll organise to get your email address so I can send it to you privately. But for now, I'll just put it in the chat right now. You can come and join me. Hold on, wait, because I'm an idiot. You know, me and technology, as I said, buddy, it's awful. It's awful. I'm not even a boomer, but I act like a boomer. There you go. It's in the link for you there, Ninja Knight. And if Alpha Omega, if you turn up as well, pal, I know it might be a little bit late for you. We're only going to go till about 10:30, 11:15. We'll see how long we can keep everybody on for. And we've got Ninja Knight. It's the voice is connected. So we'll bring him on because he did a video last night and we can let him tell you a little bit about his video. So if you're Star Trek fans, there's a bit of news, a bit of rumor floating about, and he did a video on it. So let's bring him on so we can talk a little bit about his video. And remember, guys, if you haven't subscribed to his channel, please do. He's a fellow Irishman as well, and you need more of us Irish lads and ladies out there on YouTube giving their opinions, because unlike the rest of the world, and no offense to the rest of us, us Irish people don't have a filter. So whatever's on our mind, it comes out, and that's the end of it, And I think that's why, me personally, I think Irish critics are the best because they don't bullshit. They come out straight and they say it. So let's bring him on. It's Ninja Knight, all the way from Dublin, Ireland.
All right, now.
How are you doing, pal?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm grand. I'm good.
How did the match go?
Yeah, we won 3-0. No controversy this time. So, yeah.
That's grand, yeah. I didn't actually watch it myself. To be honest with you, I'm kind of tuned out of watching the football at the moment. It's so bad, isn't it, at the minute?
Yeah, well, listen, it's not just that. I mean, even before they start the game, they're doing all this crap, taking the knee.
Are they still doing that?
Of course they are. They haven't bleeding stopped. Now, there's a few football teams in the lower leagues that few teams have agreed with other teams because there was a match on. I think Queen's Park Rangers had a match where they didn't, but it was an agreement made before before the match between the two camps. But yeah,
right.
I mean, look, I'm there to watch a football match. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about Black Lives Matter, that's fine, but don't do it on during the game of football. Yeah.
Well, I've heard here now that it was suggested to certain football clubs, sort of amateur versions of the sport. I don't want to name the clubs or anything like that. I don't want to be getting anyone in trouble or anything. But the idea was floated that people here should be doing it, and at GAA matches and stuff like that. And I think they were swiftly told no, and rightly so, because I don't think any sort of politics has any sort of place in sports
It
whatsoever.
doesn't.
You know.
It doesn't. You're right. Sport is there to entertain. It's not supposed to be used for
Yeah.
any political reasons. Sure, even FIFA in their own rules have it.
Yeah.
They even fine footballers that make political statements, whether it's a little flag or a little gesture on underneath their jersey. So I don't see why this is allowed. Listen, I'm not saying racism shouldn't be highlighted.
Oh, it should, yeah, of course.
It does get highlighted in soccer quite a lot, actually. So I don't know, you know what I mean? Look, they're there to play a game of football. They're professional, right? They should play the game of football. And then if they want to talk about that rubbish, right, or talk about and highlight it, then after they do all their interviews about the game that they've played, then they can talk about it as much as they bloody want. But during and after the game, no, I just want to watch the game of football.
I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, you dropped the video last night.
Yeah.
Because I want to alert people to your video on your channel. Obviously, this is why we brought it on as well, to make sure that people subscribe to you. I did put believe it or not, I did put your video up on Doomcock's channel.
Oh, nice. Thanks.
Gary's channel on Facebook, because they're both on Facebook as well, by the way. They have group. So if you're on Facebook, follow them on Facebook, man. And then when you
I know we will
follow them up there as well. So it's true your video's up there, but let everybody know what your video was anyway, and why you decided to actually do this video. Give a little bit of background about your channel as well, and what other stuff you do as well. So we can basically what we're doing here is, for the next few minutes, you're going to plug yourself to bits on this.
So I've no problem doing that at all. I really
sorry about that. So you plug away. Mate. We're going to make a sandwich. So I'm leaving you in charge now for 5 minutes. So you just plug away.
Yeah, no problem. Right, I really appreciate it, Noel. And I think, like Noel is saying there, it's important stuff that we're doing insofar as we're talking about these things, because over the last number of years, certainly the studios in Hollywood have certainly made people feel that the audience was the problem, and they're deciding to swap things and change things around, given the fact that that's what they've been doing, and they're trying to do some sort of, I suppose, apology tour, which seems very strange. But last night I dropped a video, and I've been talking about Star Trek as well too in the past. I've talked about the online criticism and bullying essentially that William Shatner has faced, and I've talked about as well too how Shatner drew attention to the fact that Kurtzman Trek, as it's affectionately known, has decided to misplace Picard. It's decided to do horrible things to Spock, for example, and then it's decided to use other characters in very strange ways. I mean, we see with Star Trek Lower Decks that they decided to use Boimler as a kind of surrogate for the audience. I think at the moment, the audience at the moment don't know what to be doing. It's a very strange situation that everybody's in. So last night, news was brought to my attention in the fact that apparently Kurtzman is looking at Dev Patel, who is of Slumdog Millionaire fame, to play Khan. Now, it drew a kind of couple of ideas from me insofar as I don't think Alex Kurtzman actually knows anything about the history of Star Trek. I think he knows names, buzzwords, and I think he possibly heard the name Khan and then associated it then with the region of India, perhaps. Now, I think Dev Patel is a fantastic actor, and I would have actually liked to see him maybe as an all-new character. If he wanted to introduce him to the show, bring him in as an all-new character, create a story surrounding him, and that's what should have been done. Instead, he's decided to cast him as Khan, and I have a big problem with that because Khan is obviously Latino or Hispanic, whichever way you want to do it, because I suppose there's differences between Latinos and Hispanics in that way, and was played by the marvelous Ricardo Montalban. Now, this isn't the first time that they decided to try and race change Khan. They've done it before. They made a white man in Benedict Cumberbatch Khan in the Star Trek Into Darkness that was run by J.J. Abrams. So, once is a mistake, twice is a pattern, in my opinion.
Yeah,
They've also looked to make William Shatner's infamous and famous Kirk. They've decided to try and change him as well too, in rumors that have circulated as well. So it seems like it's a pretty much a big destruction of Star Trek, run by people who do not understand it and actively want to irritate fans. Now, in my video, I've also talked about how Star Trek is dwindling in terms of con appearances. Like, I've seen people at cons that are Star Trek like legends,
yeah,
and their lines are so small. They are not bringing in people that are younger. So this is a real problem. And this ship is this, I suppose, this enterprise, like Abrams, ideas are just starting to crash. And I think that it's going to be a very big problem for Star Trek in the future. Like, will there be a Star Trek in the future? Because it seems like they're hell bent on destroying this franchise bit by bit. Going back as well to what Noel said in terms of plugging the channel, I talk about literally anything and everything. I have a big interest in the likes of UFC, the likes of Marvel stuff, DC stuff, and various different movies and TV series. So we will be talking about stuff like that, and I find that stuff very interesting. And to me, it's just kind of an outlet. And I think Noel's been really important insofar as he's talked about certain things that are really important going on with the fandom going forward. And I think that is something that we really need to know from fans themselves, because I think fans have been way too quiet in the communities for way too long and taking this nonsense from Hollywood. And I think it's time now to speak up, and that's what I've come on really kind of to say, because I think enough is enough, and I think the world we're being dictated to by people who are in the wrong and who are pontificating from positions that they should not be anywhere near, in my opinion. So that's where I'm at the moment.
I just wanted to actually bring back to what you said about Trek, though.
Yeah.
About the worry that you have about it, will it be able to survive or will it be destroyed? Do you not think, though, because the fact that they are doing these separate kind of entities like Discovery, like Lower Decks, Picard, it's not really destroying Trek, but it's, you know what I mean? It's because the Prime, let's be honest, the Prime universe is still intact. If we were to look at these shows, it's obviously the JJ verse. It's definitely the JJ verse. It's Bad Robot. So, I mean, for me personally, I get where you're coming from, but for me personally, I think Trek has a better chance out of all of the franchises right now to actually recover. Because if you make one decent Trek show and you made it in the Prime universe, I know what's happening with Kurtzman. I think CBS All Access or wherever gave him his contract, they're waiting for that contract to run out so they can start afresh. Right now, they can't. They have to let it run its course. So when it runs its course, then they'll change. I think they will change it up, but they've gone in too far that they have to see this through. But I'm more optimistic with Star Trek than you are now. I think they can.
I think you're right in a way insofar as that they have opened this various timeline thing that Star Wars, in my opinion, is going to do very, very soon.
Yeah.
And I think that they have opened that up, and I think people kind of like the multiverse, what DC are going to do. They're going to open this multiverse and kind of see what sticks from what I think. But I think what's happened with Star Trek is every show that they've done has been absolutely dire. Like Star Trek Picard has been insulting. Star Trek Lower Decks is insulting. Discovery's not great at all. You have had Spock has been totally emasculated in the shows. They're going to do the exact same to Kirk as well too. And I think ultimately people are just going to turn off it and say, no way. Like, we've seen the video that the Critical Drinker's done on Star Trek Beyond, and I think he puts it very eloquently insofar as that the Star Trek that people grew up with is now gone, and they do not have any sort of plan to return to that Star Trek. I mean, when Paramount, the company that are running it essentially for the movie side of things, are telling you that an idea is too Star Trekky, that's a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
so like what's happening with the original fans, what's happening with those people that eventually and love the show. And I think with Kurtzman doesn't actually have any productive ideas. And I've seen this within the Transformers universe. Like, I'm a huge Transformers fan. And we had like basically 2 movies with Kurtzman and Orky, and it was absolutely dire. Like the first movie for Transformers was pretty good because Spielberg was in there. He was kind of pulling the strings. He was keeping an eye on them. But the second movie, what happened was there was a writer's strike, and Orky and Kurtzman ploughed on. And as a result, it was a very disjointed movie. So for people that don't know anything about Transformers, when they walked out of that movie, they were like, "What happened there?" But
Yeah,
Kurtzman heard buzzwords like "Matrix of Leadership," "Resurrecting Optimus Prime," things like that, and it just fell apart because other characters then weren't consistent. Like in the first movie, Megatron was this all-powerful being. In the second movie, he's essentially Darth Vader to the Fallen's Darth Sidious. I mean, it
yeah,
was very clear to see Fallen is sitting in a chair exactly like Sidious. There are definitely parallels. So Kurtzman is a guy that just pulls from other things, and not subtly, by the way. It's not like it's giving a nod. It's very clear to see, and I think ultimately that creates a problem. And this guy has overseen bad projects in the past. He's been involved with the Mummy, that was a disaster. Decided to decide that there was going to be a dark universe. That didn't happen, and that was because of the first movie that came out of the gate. It just, I actually liked. I'm one of the few that liked that Dark Universe Mummy movie.
yeah.
I mean, it was low in terms of like ideas. Like I think the Van Helsing movie is probably a more faithful and respectful version of those monsters than what Kurtzman gave in that movie.
Yeah, I have to be honest. Me man, dad like that Tom Cruise Mummy
Yeah, I
movie.
like that.
Uh, to be honest with you, I watched the first few minutes, but I haven't given it a good go. But
Yeah,
I was a fan of the original Mummy with Brendan Fraser. Obviously, those movies I did
yeah,
like
great
them.
movies.
So yeah, it's I like Tom Cruise though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
So I mean, I'm very yeah. They did. You're right. A lot of these major companies do want to go down this whole do this whole universe kind of
yeah,
thing now. And you know what? I think it's getting a bit old. If I'm
yeah,
honest, you've got the Marvel universe and you've got the DC universe. Now we don't know how if DC is going to be able to actually pick up because I think DC is being a shambles to be quite honest compared to Marvel. It has. That's my
yeah,
opinion. But Marvel's gone third, in my opinion, and I
yeah,
think he is just going to go to. I don't think they're. Look, I don't know because I can't really speak for all the comic book fans out there,
yeah.
but I think it's time to rest these for a while. I think we've had 10 good years, and I think we should leave it for a while. I think they're starting to get old, to be quite honest. That's just
they're
me.
they're they're starting to go the way of the Western. I don't know who said that. Someone said that. I don't know whether it was Martin Scorsese. I don't think it was him, but it was someone that was like, these films are going to go the way of the Western, where there's going to be way too many of them. They're going to be oversaturated. People are going to get bored with them, and then
Yeah,
they're going to have to move on to something else. And I think that that's a very fair point. Now, I mean, there are some classic Westerns out there, but I mean, you could probably name the classic Westerns on both your hands, and then after that, then forget about it. I mean, one of the biggest westerns that they've done in the last couple of years were two remakes. So you've had like the Rooster Cogburn True Grit remake, and then you had the Magnificent Seven remake that was absolutely woeful in my mind, and they don't come close to the originals. I mean, John Wayne just in that role is just absolutely impeccable, and I think,
I agree with you, but I did like the updated version of True Grit. Now I have to be
did you?
honest. Yeah, I like that. I like that movie. Now I do prefer. I'm being honest. I'm like
Yeah.
yourself. I do prefer the original, but I actually thought that was a good movie. I
I
like the
thought
way.
Bridges was good. Yeah, I thought Bridges was good, but I think I think the movie just lacked that. I think it just lacked a little bit of charm that the original had.
Yeah, no,
You
you're
know,
right. They always do. They always do. You're right.
yeah,
When they do remake movies like this, it's very hard to recapture the magic of the Force. That's why
yeah,
fans do kind of do scream at Hollywood all the time and say, "Listen,
yeah,
leave it," because you never really do them. Just now, once in a while, you might
yeah.
get one or two, but that's once in a while. So yeah, I'll agree with you on those terms. But I
But I think
do defend. I do like True Grit. I like that
I
movie.
do. I think it was a decent movie. But like I said, I don't. I just think when John Wayne is embedded with you, I would have loved to see them do maybe an all new movie with Bridges as the cowboy character. I think that that would have been a good idea to go. I like some of the stuff that Kevin Costner has done more recently as well too. I think he's pretty good. But I think, like you're saying there as well, I think the Marvel universe is dangerously close to going into this territory of, just utter slugfest of
Yeah,
absolute nonsense, you know, and it's coming now. I mean, you can see, like, the fact that they've delayed Black Widow until next year.
yeah,
That is a movie that pretty much a lot of people aren't too excited for. I think that that could have just been on Disney Plus, and they would have gotten away with it. I think that the fact that they're pushing certain characters now forward, like we've just had a casting announcement for Miss Marvel, who's been recently in a video game. It's a character that, from what I understand, an awful lot of people aren't too interested in, and they're going to push forward with that character. You've had guys like John David Washington, who's Denzel Washington's son, recently coming out and saying that he wants to play Mr. Fantastic. I mean, you know, the problems are going to begin, I think, for Marvel. And looking at that phase four, like, there's only one movie in that the whole phase four that I want to see, and it's Blade. And that's because Mahershala Ali is a fantastic actor. But again, like, that's a Marvel and MCU movie. They're going to nerf Blade because you're not going to get the same sort of R-rated version of it that Wesley Snipes gave us. And Wesley Snipes, for me, kicked off the superhero genre. You know,
he
because
did, and he doesn't get the credit. He give
no,
the credit to Chad. And no offense, Chadwick Boseman does deserve credit. I'm not saying he doesn't, but I did hate the fact that when Black Panther was released and all, they were saying it was the first black
yeah, I thought it was wrong.
superhero movie and all of this. And I was saying to people, has everybody forgot Wesley Snipes in Blade? Did he not get a mention? Is I'm sorry, like, that's disrespectful.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course.
what you think of those three movies? The fourth one is absolutely fantastic.
The first one and the second one are brilliant. The third one is a mess.
The
But
fourth
I
one
mean,
is a mess, so I agree with you. But the
yeah.
fourth and second movie, yeah, I'd agree with you, are up there.
The third one fell to the likes of, like, you know, you hear Patton Oswalt coming out and saying ridiculous things like Snipes was doing this and that, and you're going, well, Snipes at the time was a perfectionist, and if things weren't going his way, and I mean, you can see it as a final result in terms of script, like, it was just woeful, and he was clearly unhappy with all of that, you know. But
the TV series that they were talking about a few years back, that's what Wesley Snipes should do.
Well, you know who I wanted to see, and who's been totally underrepresented, and they like to throw out this narrative that, you know, Black Panther is there and he's our first black superhero. I mean, they've had War Machine, they've had Don Cheadle, arguably one of the best actors in Hollywood at the moment.
Yeah, I agree with you.
100%. And they've totally underused him.
Yeah,
like, he should have had either a TV series or a solo movie by now, because I mean, a lot of people don't know, because Iron Man was seen as this C-list character, and that when Tony Stark blew up, everyone was like, "Oh my god!" But I was a big Iron Man fan before he was anything. And for, like, when you know the demon in the bottle storyline, and the fact that Rhodey swaps in for him as Iron Man, like, they're pivotal moments, and particularly because, you know, Stan at the time was using it as an allegory as well too, because Rhodey and Tony were such good friends in a time that was so divisive as well too, and like, they just got on with it. And Rhodey was so protective of Tony, and I don't think we've seen that in the movies. Like, of course, like in the first movie, we see him going out finding him and stuff. But even when he's War Machine, like, they have a bit of a fight in the first movie that Cheadle is in, and then he goes on then in the same movie and fights with him. But, you know, after that, then we don't really see the pivotal role that Rhodey plays within Tony's life. And I mean, in the third Iron Man, he's just treated as an absolute joke. And I mean, this is Colonel James Rhodes. This is a very important character that he just threw under the bus in Iron Man 3. And then subsequently then in other movies. I mean, you're seeing, like, the joke that he made with Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner in Wakanda. He's like, oh, you make sure you bow to them. And then Ruffalo bows to them, and Chadwick Boseman's character says, you know, Black Panther says, oh, we don't do that here. And I'm like, James Rhodes wouldn't do something like that, you know. That's not the War Machine character. He's straight laced, and he's nearly the opposite of Tony in a lot of ways, and that's why they're such a good dynamic. You know, he's not just a different version of Tony. You know.
Yeah, he's his own man, his own unique character. I do agree. It was the same way in Iron Man. Iron Man 3 was a shit show, actually. It started off so. I have to be honest. Like the start of it, I thought, this is actually going to be a great movie. But then when I got to the twist,
that lost me.
That I was just, really an actor. You're an actor. Ben Kingsley, you're going to use one of the greatest actors, and then you're going to say he's just no. No, I
And you know what?
don't.
That was Shane Black too. He was responsible for the Predator, and I mean, no, he was responsible also for the Predator, which
Yeah,
an awful lot of people didn't like either. So clearly, he has his abilities has waned in the recent years. But like, that's a guy that should have been easily to. But see, Marvel was going through a funny time at the time, insofar as they didn't want to cast an Asian villain, they didn't want to cast an Asian hero in the Doctor Strange movie either, because they were afraid of the PC police coming after them, rather than just going with it. And now they're going to put the Mandarin in as an Asian in Shang-Chi. And it's like, well, there's only one reason why you've decided to do Shang-Chi now, and that's because he's an unknown character for a lot of people, and you've decided to do that because you want to boost sales in China. You know, it's really easy to see.
yeah, but you say that, right? And you point that out, and then you'll have people that will say, because you see it on the internet
Hmm.
all the time, well, you're being racist. But again,
Yeah,
listen to what he said. They're only doing it because they feel like, I'm gonna say it out straight. The box ticking right now. The America is in such a,
absolutely.
and that's what it is. It's always box ticking, box ticking, box ticking. It's never
Hmm.
done for the right reasons, and
No.
this is why you have people like me, Gary, heel versus babyface, Doomcock,
Yeah.
Ninja, channels like that, always calling this bull crap out. It's not got to do with racism at
No.
all. It's got to do with them being disrespectful asses to those people, right?
Hmm.
Disrespectful to different groups out there by just pandering and ticking boxes instead of actually putting real thought and effort into every character that they throw up on screen.
Yeah. Like they did with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like it's very easy to see because like they've only recently given Black Widow a film. You know, Kevin Feige was saying how monumental it was to give Captain Marvel a movie. Like DC were doing it with Wonder Woman. It's not like that we haven't had female leads before who are
Yeah,
absolutely and positively successful. And Marvel tried to come out with this whole statement of we're the force to do it. The only reason why they did the Black Panther solo movie was because he was received so well within Civil War that they were like, oh, people are actually hungry for this. I'd been actually one of the individual. I'm a huge Black Panther fan, and I think they got an awful lot wrong with that solo movie personally. And I was disappointed to see that because, like for example, like T'Challa, I think was totally underused in the movie. Now, personally, I will say that looking back on it now in hindsight, knowing what Chadwick was going through, I commend him absolutely, and I've so much respect for him that he actually went through that solo movie on his own, knowing what he was dealing with. But like at the time, I was saying to myself, like they're making a big statement about making Black Panther into a solo movie. Like he should have easily been in within that first phase, if not the second phase.
yeah,
And I mean, they're
true.
trying to say it's brave now by putting him in the third phase. It's not. You know, you're coasting at the moment. You're playing it safe, and you thought, yeah, okay, Chadwick is maybe someone we could pick as Black Panther, and then we give him a solo movie, and it's like, no, like I mean, that's a top tier character in my opinion. Like he should have been getting a solo movie nearly from the start. You know?
Yeah, I mean, look, again, that's what I'm saying. If they did this at the start of the universe, there would be nobody giving out about, well, you're
Hmm.
on pandering, because yeah, this is what I mean. They had a chance. They were creating this big universe for us all. They should have got in as many of the characters in as possible. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's too little, too late for some of these characters. And unfortunately, Chadwick is not going to be around anymore, so I don't think Black Panther should even be recast again, to be quite honest with you. Uh,
I'm actually cooking a video up on that one, and I'm not going to say what I think they should do with it right now because I'm going to do a video on it. But I have a good idea what the company will do. But I have a wish myself personally, and I'm just going to test the waters and see what people think of it. Because I think it's a pretty offbeat idea that they haven't done. But I think it's going to be very interesting to see if this video does what I think it will do, which is I think people might see the logic behind it, and then it could be a video that could go somewhere, you know, because I think the Black Panther thing now at the moment it's so precarious what they do, like recasting T'Challa at the moment. You know, they've done it in the past with Terrence Howard and Don Cheadle. They do
yeah,
have sort of great actors that are out there that could fit the role of T'Challa. You know, there's a symbolism of maybe retiring the jersey, or do you just carry on? I mean, we've seen it with Spartacus. Spartacus lost its main star, and then they decided to cast what was the guy's name? He was He played one of the characters he did in the Flash. Liam, what was his name?
I know
Can't think
who.
of his name anyway.
Oh yeah, he replaced a man that died of cancer, wasn't it?
Andy Whitmire, I think it was, or Andy Whitmore was one or the other. But they decided to change that up, and it changed the dynamic of the show. Now, obviously, the show went on and was continued to be successful. But I think when people have that image of Chadwick ingrained as Black Panther, it's very difficult to then recast and be like, this is T'Challa, and you're going to have a lot of people that will push back against that and be like, no, because everyone's going to have their own reasons. They want the jersey to be retired. They want to put someone else in the role. Like, we're hearing talk of Shorty being the one to be inducted into the role of Black Panther. I don't think that that's a clever idea. And I think that's why I've another video coming as well too. And Marvel want Keanu Reeves at the moment, and they want him for 2 pretty major characters.
Wow.
And it's kind of up to him who he wants to pick.
Oh.
And I think that's why they've lost Iron Man. Allegedly, from what I've heard, they're talking about bringing Robert Downey Jr. back in some sort of form. I think they're going to have to. And I think with Steve Rogers gone as well too for the time being, it's definitely hit them hard. Hemsworth as well too said he has one more movie in him, and he would like to do more, but Marvel seem to be stalling on that. I don't know why. I mean, the guy's a bankable star as Thor, but Marvel's in a very precarious position at the moment, and I think if they're not careful, they're going to go away very, very soon,
I'm being honest with you. I think it all needs a break. I mean, I have heard this rumor about them bringing back Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
The only reason why they'd be bringing him back is because, as you said with Chris Hemsworth, they're bankable stars.
Yeah.
I mean, me personally, I don't think you should have killed off Tony Stark, but
no,
there you go. I don't think you should have killed off Iron Man. I know people say it's the ending that he kind of, it's the ending that he would have wanted and all this. No.
I don't think it is. I don't think it was for Tony. Look, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Tony was like, I love Tony, and for me, like, it was obviously very distressing and upsetting to see Tony go because he's one of my favorite characters. But I thought the manner of which it was done in Endgame was handled very badly. I think Endgame definitely handled that whole situation quite badly, and they could have done it a lot better. Personally, I think they could have definitely put a more of a narrative spin on it. I honestly think, because it's been revealed that Kevin Feige knows Jeff Johns and certain individuals within DC, that they leaked the script of the Snyder Cut towards them. I mean, they had no intentions at the time to do Civil War until Batman vs Superman got floated about. They had no intentions of doing the kind of time travel heist until Justice League got floated about. And they kind of done a haphazard version of it. And they kind of, in that Endgame movie, it's done itself no justice with the time travel thing, because it's going to just create many, many problems going forward, And Tony's death is definitely one of them, because what sort of repercussions are there now when you can go through time? Why not use the PM particles to go back and just get Tony? Why not just stop Hydra from forming? Why not stop everything? Loki coming through? Like, why would anything be of any importance anymore?
No, you make valid points. And I'd just like to say that we are joined by
Alpha Omega.
Hello, good evening.
Alpha Omega is finally here, but we've got no Lee tonight because Lee is he said he's doing some late night shopping with his
nice.
He's got to get our dinner in or something. So it's just the three of us. So seems that we're all here, right? It's we're 40 minutes in.
Yeah.
Go for another half hour. So if you could stay Ninja Night, because I know you have an early one.
Yeah, I think I have to pop off in 5 minutes, but yeah, I'll be here for another 5 minutes anyway. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. Well, welcome, Alpha Omega. We're just talking, obviously, about the Marvel and DC cinematic universes, and I was just saying that it's kind of getting a bit stale now, and of course Ninja Knight is talking about the whole time travel nonsense and Tony Stark's death, which I didn't like, to be honest with you. But yeah, what did you I just want to ask you, how are you on the Marvel and DC universes? Where are you right now? Are you excited for the next phase? Are you like everybody else right now? They don't seem to give a crap.
Well, yeah, right now I think I'm pretty much where everybody else is. I've had my fill of both at this point. Um, I'd like to know if you guys think that going back over all the Marvel movies, that the original Iron Man still holds up there as one of the best.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I actually like. I think Iron Man 2 is a better movie, but well, hang on. I think Iron Man 1 is a perfect movie. I think the second movie definitely it was dabbled within the studio. The studio have been, I mean, Favreau has said it in the past, and that's why he didn't direct another movie for them in Marvel Studios. Was he had a whole story with the Vanko character played by Mickey Rourke that the studio just came in and totally nixed. They nixed the alcoholism as well too from the second movie, and I think the second movie had the ability to be just as good, in my opinion, as the Dark Knight. And I think the studio came in and went, whoa, 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 this needs to be light, and we're looking for an image, and it kind of nerfed that movie a little bit. But ultimately, I think that Iron Man 1 is probably, it is the best one in my opinion, and it's closely followed probably by the Winter Soldier, and that'd be
Yeah,
it for me in terms of quality.
I'd agree there.
Winter Soldier is a cracking movie. Winter
It
Soldier
is.
is probably up there. Yeah, I agree with you. Iron Man 1 and Winter Soldier
Yeah.
are probably the two movies that they can look at and say, yeah, they got the spot on.
Like I always say about the Marvel movies in particular, like because people say, "Oh, like you're a big DC head," and I'm like, "Yeah, well, the DC universe has deep cuts for DC fans. Like I'm a very big DC fan." And then you hear, like, for example, I would say the Marvel movies, in my opinion, are like fast food restaurant stuff. It's easy to digest. It's quick and easy. It moves through you, no problem. But the DC stuff is a steak dinner. You have to sit down. You have to take your time with it. You have to enjoy it. You think about it afterwards. Where the fast food stuff, Marvel Cinematic Universe, you're in, you're out, forget about it in 30 minutes. Like there's no Marvel movie that I don't think I've thought about for a very long time afterwards. Whereas with the DC Universe, I still think about, particularly Batman v Superman and Man of Steel and the imagery and stuff in it. Whereas with the Marvel stuff, I don't. With Iron Man 1, I do. But everything after that, no.
Sorry, go ahead, Alpha Omega.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, as far as the DC, I might be in the minority, but I kind of like the overall the Christian Bale trilogy.
Yeah.
Some people I know don't like his portrayal, but I thought it was pretty good overall.
I liked it. I thought he was a good Batman. He wasn't a great Bruce Wayne, and that was the thing for me. I think you have to play both characters. I mean, Batman is Bruce Wayne. That is the character. Bruce Wayne is the mask essentially. He's who Batman pretends to be, and I think that that's what Snyder really understood. And you see it in Batman versus Superman. Like Bruce is the mask. You see him even when Affleck says to Mercy Graves, "Hey, nice shoes." That's him putting that mask on, and then he becomes very serious when she moves away, almost immediately. And that to me is Batman. Whereas the Bale movies, they took a lot of liberties. There was a lot of, certain things that happened in those movies, like Bane not being Hispanic was something that really bothered me because he is a Hispanic character. I think Anne Hathaway was terribly miscast as Catwoman. There was other things as well too, like Ra's al Ghul. They didn't want to dive into the whole immortal way of life with him. I thought that was another, realistic thing that they could have done a little bit better. I personally think that Mr. Freeze would have been a perfect character for the Nolan trilogy, and they just overlooked him, and that was for me a little bit disappointing.
Chris Pierce says Hemsworth might want to do more Thor appearances, but Feige is promoting the Mighty Thor, aka Jane Foster, following the comics, which leave Chris out in the cold. And also, Nerdaholics left a comment there, which I want to throw up because I want to see how many people actually agree. So he says the Holy Trinity is actually Iron Man, Winter Soldier, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, obviously. They're the Holy Trinity of MCU movies. I do like the first Guardians of the Galaxy.
I don't know. I don't get the love for it. At the time when I seen the trailer for it, I was like, this is the new Star Wars. But I think when you look at it as a movie, and particularly what James Gunn has been up to, it really sours me off it, particularly when he was fired by Disney and then hired by DC and then rehired. for very suspect tweets. You know, he was a 40-year-old man when he made those tweets, and thousands of them. And you just look at that and you say, you know. So it sours my enjoyment of that a lot. But ultimately, I think.
What's your Holy Trinity then? If yours isn't, if Guardians of the Galaxy is not in there, what would your Holy Trinity be?
Wow, that's a tough one. It's Iron Man is there, Winter Soldier is there, and probably I think Infinity War is a strong movie. I think from start to finish it's really good. There's very little in it that's not great, and I think ultimately it's very tonally good, and it changes itself as the movie moves on. There are very nice shots in it, but like I said, I think Iron Man 2 would have been an absolutely outstanding movie. I'll tell you what my Holy Trinity would be though. It's Iron Man, it's Winter Soldier, and it's the Incredible Hulk with Norton. I think Norton's Hulk is, like it says in the tin, incredible. I loved that version of the Hulk.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I like that movie. And I would have loved him to continue to play the Hulk, but obviously there was the issues and stuff. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I love that Norton movie.
Well, you see, Norton wanted to play with the whole, self-deletion idea from Banner, and Marvel didn't want to do it. Like the Demon and Bottle storyline, they didn't want to go near that darker aspect, and that's why you have an absolute goofball as Bruce Banner now, rather than, this individual that is very much so struggling mentally with this character. They just turned Hulk into an absolute goofball, and for me, I think Incredible Hulk it's definitely one of the ones that gets overlooked as well too. It's so good.
Oh, it's a good Holy Trinity. I have to be honest. So,
what about you now? What would be your Trinity?
Me? Oh, I'm still thinking of mine. I don't know why he's coming in because he's getting kicked. Sorry, just had to kick someone.
All right.
No, they come on the channel here. I've given them a platform 3 times and they're bitching about me on Twitter. So you're not coming on. It's as simple as that. That's not how it works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To bring people on to try, get a bit of a balance. This is someone that has always criticised me, and then I just decided that I'd give them a chance to come on the channel. They have behaved themselves, but I see them on Twitter bitching and moaning about me and getting involved in conversations. So no, not happening.
Yeah, I know. I think there's only so much reasoning you can do with these people, and then after a while, you just have to say, okay, right, I'm just going to have a laugh now, and that's it.
Exactly. That's why I've just blocked people. Enough is enough. I'm done.
Yeah.
I just want to be able to do this. We're having a good time right now, and someone just wants to come and spoil it all. Anyway, Alpha Omega. I'm still thinking of my Holy Trinity there because I know Ninja Knight did ask me, but I'll ask you first while I'm still thinking. What would your Holy Trinity of MCU movies be?
Probably what we've already said for the first two. I mean, the original Iron Man, Infinity War, and I'm still trying to think of a third. Probably maybe Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one.
Yeah, there's a lot of love for that one. Definitely a lot of love, and I can understand it wholeheartedly. But I think in the last couple of years, it's separating the artist from the art, and it's become so hard, to do that, And I think with Gunn, I'm not going to see the Suicide Squad movie either, because just the things he said,
Yeah, I understand that.
Let me see. My Holy Trinity then would be Iron Man. But Winter Soldier is a great movie, but I prefer Infinity War for some weird reason. And I'm going to mention a movie that hasn't been mentioned actually as part of my Holy Trinity because I really, really enjoyed it. It's the fourth Thor movie.
The First Thor, the First Thor is a good movie.
Yeah.
It's Anthony Hopkins, excellent as Odin, perfect casting. I like the Kenneth Branagh style as well too. They definitely had Thor. He was nailed on well. My dad is a very big Thor fan, and he was very pleased with that movie. And then when he went to see Ragnarok, he was like, "What is this? this is Thor." he's a buffoon. What is going on? So. I think the first Thor movie definitely does get overlooked. It's a very, even when they played that Endgame trailer and he had Hopkins narrating and he had Asgard in black and white, that's still, the Kenneth Branagh shots of Asgard, that still kind of sounds chills a little bit, because
Yeah.
the way Hopkins delivers that line, the way it's used in that trailer, I like it. I think you're right on that one. I like Thor very much.
Yeah. So I put that in there because nobody's mentioned it, and I have to be honest. Iron Man was the first movie that kind of obviously introduced me to it, but I didn't
Yeah.
watch a few movies then after that until I actually saw Thor, and then I went back then because the brother, obviously he's younger. He says, "No, you have to watch all these. It's going to lead up to a big movie." I said, "That's never going to happen. You mean to tell me that all these characters are going to be in a movie together?" And he even said, "Yeah, it's going to happen. It
Yeah.
happens in comics. It's going to happen." And I was like, "Nah, it's not. They're just going to do individual trilogy." But then when I start seeing the cut scene to all of these movies, then they start making it. I was like, "Okay, you're right. They're doing a big universe thing."
Yeah, no.
Where this
cool.
goes, and it was exciting 10 years ago, but now it's 10 years down the line, and for me, I've just grown out of it now. I'm just kind of like, right, will you just start doing individual movies now? I don't want this whole universe.
Hey, I'm sure once Natalie Portman takes over as Thor, that'll be your favorite Thor movie.
I think that has disaster written all over it. Luckily now that they haven't. Luckily though, they haven't started shooting anything. So I think maybe, from the reports that have come out about Disney allegedly releasing people that are woke and woke ideas, I think that is going to be something that you might see a shift in. I think there's been a lot of pushback with Waititi over that, and I think you might see maybe a pushback on that one. I think they might look at Hemsworth, like Extraction was very popular on Netflix, and that was starring Hemsworth. I think it's one of his better choices outside of the Thor movies, because the Men in Black movie was terrible. But I think, I think Marvel have time now to look at what they're doing. They need to start introducing X-Men, whether they do it very quickly or whether they sparse them out through movies, which is another rumor. Like they're saying that Wolverine could possibly appear in the Captain Marvel movie. That's just trying to get bums in seats though, because they know that she's not popular enough to hold the movie on her own without somebody else. She was required reading between Infinity War and Endgame, which is why that movie did well. But I think they know full well that the actress isn't quite liked. They know that the character of Carol Danvers isn't really loved. And I think that they're fully aware of that. And I think they will sprinkle X-Men throughout the universe now to ensure people go. But depending on what they do with the X-Men going forward, that could be another bone of contention.
Well, two franchises that I think that they've never gotten right actually is or I don't know who owns these, right? But two movie franchises that are comic book movies that to me that they've never got spot on.
Fantastic Four.
It's Fantastic Four, exactly, and just what you're after being talking about. I don't think X-Men. I don't think they've ever gotten X-Men right. To be honest, I find even the good X-Men movies, I find them mature.
Yeah, you basically need to do what the 90s animated TV. You need to put the 90s animated TV series on screen in live action. That's what needs to happen.
And then everybody get behind it. Yeah, because it's more fun as well at the same time.
Of course, and then you have characters that are very, very different in how they act. Like you have Gambit, that's there. He does his own thing. He's a bit of a rogue. Wolverine comes into the mix. Angel is there. You have Cyclops. You have these very pivotal characters. You have Beast from the start. It's a very eclectic mix of characters, and I think that's what they need. But I would certainly be concerned about the people that they might cast as the X-Men, because Marvel are going to try and diversify even the X-Men when it's totally unneeded. Like you've talked about Shia LaBeouf as Iceman. I mean, let's get straight with that one. That is a bad choice. Like, what are they thinking of? I've done a video on who I think they should cast as the X-Men. Personally, and I'm gonna fluff myself on this one. I think it's a pretty solid cast, and I think that they might not go anywhere near the individuals that I picked, which is a strange way to think of it. I think the X-Men, what they need to do with the X-Men in a way, I think they might need to make them kind of nearly like a Navy SEALs. They've been an underground operation that even Fury doesn't know about, purely because Xavier has the power to make sure people don't remember or don't know that these things are happening. And I think you need to have Magneto 100%, and I think you still need to have him as a member of a survivor of the Holocaust. I think that's pivotal to his character. But like you're hearing recently that they're looking to make Magneto into someone from Rwanda and stuff, and it's just like, oh no, it's not even, that's not Magneto anymore, you know?
Yeah, that destroys the fundamental part of his character.
That's a massive part of Magneto. I would love to see him, like, say, on the Savage Land or Genosha or something like that, where time stops and he's been imprisoned there or something like that. I think that would be a clever way of doing things, and then he just gets released with this whole Infinity War snap or something. Some sort of way of doing it. You know, like Charles Xavier is one of the individuals that's involved in the snap. He snapped away, and it releases Magneto back out into the world, and he's a young man. You know, I think that's the way they have to do it. You know, please the fans. That's my big thing. Is Noel gone putting the ham into the oven, or what's he doing?
No, Noel is after getting his can of fucking his bottle of Boost, and then watching his wife pour down a whole bottle of diluted Tesco crap because she didn't like the top of it. You know the way the top of it is, because you know this, Ninja Knight, from living in Ireland. You know the way when you buy diluted stuff that's left on the shelf for ages, and it has the darker kind of orange on it, and it looks a bit crap, but you have to shake it. Yeah, she didn't shake it, so she's been it doesn't matter, it stays there, but she's after wasting a whole bottle of diluted stuff.
What are you dumping?
Diluted orange. She's just after wasting it. Or what do you call it? What do they call it in America?
We don't have that.
Kool-Aid, is it? No, it's like Kool-Aid, though, isn't it? A bit like Kool-Aid, isn't it?
Not at all.
All right, Ninja Knight has lost connection. We'll see if he can come back. Sometimes that happens. And there is someone else trying to join the there's no I'm just going to say it out straight. There's no point you joining the lobby because you won't be getting on. But second of all, this is only exclusive to Alpha Omega and Ninja Knight. It's something that we had planned Monday. So we won't be bringing on any more guests, especially those who want to take a pop at me on Twitter. Like, you don't think you're going to come onto my channel taking a pop at me on Twitter. That's not how it works. So, you know, come on, cop on to yourself. Clobber in Time says, the Disney idiots are already setting up Reed Richards' race swap with their casting of Kang the Conqueror, originally an Avengers baddie in Ant-Man 3. Oh, they actually are doing an Ant-Man 3, Eddie. I thought they gave up after the second one. I was very disappointed with that second one. I loved the first one. I thought the first one was fun. I think everybody said the same thing about the first one. It was fun. It was one of those surprise hits, if I remember correctly. Nobody expected this movie to do as well as it did, and it was a surprise. But it was down to Paul Rudd. I mean, he's just brilliant. But Alpha Omega, actually, I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about it? Because those movies actually haven't been mentioned tonight, which is weird. We've mentioned every other movies in the DC and Marvel franchise, but we forgot about poor Ant-Man, and I forgot as well Doctor Strange. We forgot Doctor Strange as well. Does anybody like the Doctor Strange movie?
I did.
Same here. I don't know what it is, but it gets a mixed view that movie. But I actually think it's a cracking movie. I mean, one is enough though. To me, one of those movies is enough. It's an interesting character, Doctor Strange, but to me, again, it brings all this whole time travel rubbish in as well, though, didn't it? Because, I don't know about.
First Doctor Strange was good. The first Ant-Man was good. The second one was the Wasp and Ant-Man. It was more. Seemed like.
You're right, and in a way, I didn't kind of mind that because I like the actress, but it was a weak ass story anyway. I mean, the story wasn't great. I mean, if you're gonna do that, right, fine, but make the story, as I said, interesting. I think this is where they get it wrong. They try to think they want to be clever and they want to do all these things, and we're not saying don't try to be clever or do these things. Go ahead and do it, but at least make the characters interesting. Give them a story arc and actually give them decent bloody dialogue and a decent story to go with it. and we'll get behind these characters. Nobody is saying that we don't want strong female characters. Yeah?
Right.
But they're not writing strong female characters nowadays. They're writing female characters that are perceived to be strong, but get there at the expense of a man. And that's
they can do a strong female character without denigrating the male characters.
Exactly. Their male counterparts. No need for it. No need for it. Because, like, you know, if that started happening in Hollywood again with male actors doing that, there'd be uproar. So why is it all right for it to be reversed? See, this is what I hate about all of this crap as well. If this was men doing all this, demanding that, you know, roles be gender swapped because women are in these roles and we want them now, could you imagine the kick up? Like the fuss that would be, oh, how dare you, you sexist pigs. But it's all right to do it the other way. No, it's not. Create your own content. Create your own stories, your own universes, your own worlds, and leave the already existing ones alone that you've already ruined. And let's see if we can actually salvage the pieces, because, yeah, I don't see many of them surviving. I don't see... Terminator's gone. R.I.P., by the way. It's gone. Finished. It's never going to look. Star Wars, I still think there's hope for Star Wars.
Maybe a spark of hope.
But right now, R.I.P. Star Trek, gone. R.I.P. Yeah. Doctor Who, gone. R.I.P. Ghostbusters was, but there's a chance now that might get might revive itself with Afterlife, and I bloody hope it does. So we'll keep that off the R.I.P. list right now. But there's a lot of franchise that have fallen. The Alien franchise, now that wasn't down to all of this nonsense, but that was just down to Ridley Scott's stupidity trying to make it about religion, or to have a God complex crap going through the bleeding. What the hell was he thinking? But did you know what? I just want to say to all you old directors out there, there comes a time when you should bow out gracefully. You know, and I see a lot of you are coming back. James Cameron, you're doing Avatar 2 and 3. When you announced that, people says, and the big question was, why? Why? Nobody wants them, but you're giving us them anyway. And you said part 3 was 98% done. We don't care. We've no interest in the movies at all. Like, the first one was unique because nobody'd ever done anything like that before. But now you're giving us another 2 movies. You know, it's old hat. Nobody wants it.
What, was there a big clamor for that? I haven't heard of that.
No. Apologies, mate. My mic cut off and wouldn't come back on. Thanks for having me on. But if you could try get back in, come back in before we finish. We'll be finishing in about 15 minutes. If you want to come back in. But yeah, listen, subscribe to his channel anyway. That was the whole point of getting him on, to get you aware of the kind of stuff that Ninja Knight does on his channel. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to Alpha Omega as well, by the way. It's the reason we have you on, so we can get everybody alerted to use our channels. And I'm not saying people aren't alerted to their channels, but you know what I mean. Just in case any of my subscribers are not subscribed to yours, they can go over there and check out your channels, because they're very good. So go and check them out. But yeah, if you can get back in Ninja Knight, all well and good. But if not, there you go. We'll make sure we get one of the moderators to whack in there.
You don't want to leave Noel stuck with me here for the last 15
minutes. No, you're good. But I mean, these all direct. Listen, leave it out, right? Your time, you had your time, right? It's like Madonna, for example. That woman is how old now? 60 odd, and she still acts like she's an 18-year-old. You're not an 18-year-old. You're a 60-year-old woman. Grow up, start acting your age, and wear clothes that's age appropriate. Thank you very much. It's the same with these directors. You know, you had your time. You know what I mean? You had a few hits. You know, you're trying to relive past God. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Leave it. Just leave it. You have your body of work there and you're ruining your body of work. Ridley Scott, for me, though, has really annoyed me, because the Alien franchise, up until, right, no matter what you think of 3 and Resurrection, right, the first 2 fantastic movies, right? Absolutely fantastic. Alien is probably the greatest sci-fi horror movie of all time, in my opinion. Right? It was a B movie, as you all know. I always watch the extended cut. because it's the best cut in my opinion. You get like literally a 10-minute scene of Ridley Scott's camera just going around the whole spaceship.
You like the original better?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the original. I think I like the second one just a little better.
I know the second one is great. Don't get me wrong. Listen, the only reason why I like the first one is because this is how I describe them. Alien was a bit more horror. Yeah. Whereas by the time
action,
Aliens 2 then was a bit more action based, but it still had the horror elements in it, and that's why I think it worked. If it didn't have those horror elements and it had been just a straight out action movie, it wouldn't have worked. But the fact that they had the same atmospheres they had in the first movie, that was important. So yeah, I mean, those two movies are masterclass in filmmaking. But it's like, you know, he has a hit, Ridley Scott, and he thinks, you know, he had a hit with this movie, Alien, and he thought, well, he's the man that should bring the franchise forward. I'm sorry, you had a great script by Neil Blomkamp, who wanted to come in and do the movie, and you basically said no, and you wanted to do your own thing, even after the fifth movie had gotten the green. That's what many people don't realize. We were close to getting that movie. That movie was green lit and all. They were just getting everybody together for it. There was even talk, they even did a panel on it with Sigourney Weaver and the rest of the cast that they were going to have in this movie talking about it. And then it never happened because Ridley Scott decided that he was the man to do it. And he was wrong. And they're all wrong. All of these old directors, this is why Avatar 2 and 3, nobody wanted them. Nobody wanted them. There wasn't even a call for it. Even at the time when the movie was released, they were hyped about it because it looked great visually. It was never, what he had done was never done before, so it was unique, right? So he waits all these years later to tell us that he's doing it, you know. Well, he has been talking for years about doing a second and a third one. Now, finally, we know then that it's happening. But nobody asked for these movies. And then apparently, according to people, that these two movies, Avatar 2 and 3, are basically going to break the box office hit that obviously the last Avengers movie was, which I don't think actually deserves to be there, to be honest with you, because it's not that great in the movie. The last Avengers movie, to be quite honest with you, I didn't like really. Endgame is shit. Sorry, that's the ball. Look, I'll probably be the first one to say Endgame was shit. It was shit. Absolutely rubbish. Didn't like it. Didn't like it. That's my opinion. I like the one before that, but Endgame, no. I don't know. It just seemed a bit of a cop out. I mean, this whole it was crap. I actually don't really know. I've only watched that movie once, I think, and I haven't watched it since. Now I know the reason why, because it's crap. It's crap. That's my opinion.
Yeah, looking back on it, it was a bit meh.
It is. It's crap. It's overhyped. It doesn't even deserve to be the biggest selling movie of all time or whatever it is, biggest box office hit of all time. It doesn't. Joker, listen, I know it's a different movie altogether, but if I was if you were to ask me which movie I would think was the highest grossing between Joker and Endgame, logically speaking, by watching the two movies, I would say Joker. But that's not how logic works in Hollywood, especially. So yeah, Joker is much better. And I know it's not that type of movie, but I mean, there's even better movies within the Marvel universe that were better than Endgame. I don't know how Endgame gets so much love. It shouldn't. It shouldn't get any praise at all. As someone mentioned it there, Endgame depressing for half of the movie, and then they broke their own time travel route. Exactly. And then Tony Stark dies, game over. Right, the character that actually started it all off for us, remember that with the Iron Man. That's the movie that started it all off. So for me, Robert Downey Jr., we've all had a connection to Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. Nobody is Iron Man anymore. He is Iron Man. Nobody will be able to play Iron Man ever again. Done. Sealed. You've got your Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. Done. Bang.
Yeah.
And now,
Wouldn't be the same.
say that again, Alpha Omega?
Wouldn't be the same.
Yeah. Seriously, he's just... and what Robert Downey Jr. done, you know, I mean, listen, the guy's career at that stage, if I remember, he'd done Gotham, he was starting to get his career back because obviously he'd went through a bad patch, as you know, right? And he'd ended up in prison for a while. To basically, you know, I don't think he knew at the time when he took the first Iron Man movie that it was going to be as big and that he'd be as big of a star that he is. But by God, he put everything into Iron Man. You can see that he loves the character. And there was even talk after the first Iron Man, because a lot of actors like that are serious actors, don't want to be kind of typecast. But, you know, when he was told that this is going to be over a long term, this is going to be like a good chunk of your life, you know, if you're gonna take this on, it's a commitment. And he did. He never gave out or anything. He did what he had to do. I look, Tony Stark is my favorite character. Him and obviously the Cap. But Captain America became a bit annoying near the end. Actually, I just wanted Tony Stark to punch him in the face, to be quite honest. Actually, I wanted Captain America to be, you know, thrown into a propeller blade. He annoyed me that much near the end. Listen, we all get the whole wholesome, you know, gentleman America, but it started to get on me tits. Just look, listen, all this man business, just shut him up. Someone just break his jaw, please. He's a no. Good. Captain America, loved the first movie. The second movie was, what was the second movie again? Captain America.
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. Absolute epic movie. And then we had, what was it? Civil
War.
Yeah, Civil War. Yeah. So yeah, but movies are great, but I don't like Captain America. I never did, to be quite honest with you, though.
What about Joker? Do you think there or even should be another one made?
Another one?
Joker.
No. Personally speaking, no. I think that's a one-off movie.
I agree.
I think. Do you know what they have an opportunity here? I think. They could mess around with a couple of other characters like this that they have in the DC vault, and kind of make a kind of a darker universe. I love the Joker movie. Listen, I watched it. I was mesmerized actually watching it. I thought it was being all right. See, because everybody, you know, on our side were defending it quite a lot and giving it good reviews. Sometimes I'm wary of that, right? Because I do know sometimes why it's done. Sometimes a lot of these YouTubers will review a movie or a TV show, and they'll actually pretend to like it a lot more than they want, because, or that they're letting on, because they don't want the other side to kind of like, you know, to know that we kind of agree with them. So I thought this was what was happening with Joker. I thought, nah, this is a lot of people just hyping this movie because they were giving out about it. The SJWs have been giving out about it, and they're just trying to shut them up. So then one night I was just sitting there, nothing to do, and I just seen it, and I just said, okay, I'll put it on. And I sat there, and for minute one, to the end of the movie. I mean, that whole scene in the studio, I didn't even expect that to happen. When that particular scene, I won't say just in case you still haven't seen the Joker, but when I seen that particular scene happen in the studio, I was, oh my God, I didn't even expect it. It's a fantastic. Joaquin Phoenix, though, for me, listen, I knew Joaquin Phoenix was the first movie I seen Joaquin Phoenix in was Gladiator. And even then I knew by his acting that this guy was going to be a megastar, right? And he is. He's an absolutely wonderful. They could not have gotten anybody better to play that version of the Joker. Nobody would have done that justice. Only Joaquin Phoenix. It's gonna be one of those movies, and it does deserve to be up there. It is a great, and that's not overhyping it. It is a great. It's a wonderful piece of cinema. Everybody that's in it, even the supporting cast, are absolutely fantastic. The story is brilliant. I mean, you get to see the human psyche. You get to see what it's like for a man. Because you do feel sorry for the character of the Joker. That's the thing about it.
Yeah, make him a sympathetic character.
Yeah, he's a very sympathetic character, even though he's doing these things. And I'm like, even the scene on the train, like when he's being picked on and he's telling the story to Murray, like you do feel sorry for him because you seen what happened to him on the train, and you're kind of like saying, okay, maybe they didn't deserve what happened to them the way it did, but you could understand why he lashed out, because society just basically spit him out and just basically said to him, you're useless, you're no good, you're trash. And you could see it, and it played out in this whole movie, and it was just wonderful to see someone that actually understands the complex human mind, because that's what it was. It was an exploration into the human mind. I love that movie, and I'm being honest, it's up there as a great to me. If that's a movie, in my opinion, that deserves to hold the title of movie that's made the most box office sales, or whatever it is that bloody stupid movie has made. Avatar 2 probably will beat it, but it doesn't matter. Then Avatar 3 will probably beat it, but then it's all fucking fake. It's not real. It's not real. There's better movies than Avatar out there, right? Even Titanic is better than Avatar, and that's another James Cameron movie. And I hate that version because it's all soppy. But even that movie is better than Avatar. I don't know how everybody likes that. My mum and dad love that movie. So when the other two come out, they're going to be glued to it. But I don't know. I watched it one time with them, and I says, and I looked at them and I says, do you really like this? I said, this is boring. I said, what is even going on? There's a tree of life there or something, or that's the metaphor, or whatever it is. But this is rubbish. What's going on? These big blue creatures with tails and some weird sex crap going on in the middle of the get away, man. Get away. I don't know what, man. I don't know. James Cameron, maybe he wanted to have another sci-fi franchise. But why didn't you team up with Steven Spielberg or something and do us an E.T. 2 or something, an evil E.T. like was pitched back in the day after E.T. had dropped. They were going to do an evil version of E.T. So the first movie was going to be all family like it was, but then the second movie he was going to come back and it was going to be more adult, more sinister. And basically E.T. befriended this family because they were going to basically take them and experiment on them and blah 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 blah. That was the kind of storyline for the second one, an evil E.T. And yeah, I would have loved to see that now, personally speaking myself, but it's too late now. If Steven Spielberg did it now, he'd probably, Steven Spielberg still has it. Actually, out of them all, I would actually have to say Steven Spielberg still has it. Just about. He still does the odd crap. But he's not bad. Compared to the rest, I think Ridley Scott is finished, personally. Look at his movie. Look at the Blade Runner movie that he did. I know there's a lot of fans of that Blade Runner movie, the second one, right? But it ain't Blade Runner, right? Blade Runner is Blade Runner.
Oh, the original was good.
Yeah, you don't need a second one. You didn't even need a second one. Blade Runner was good all by itself. You didn't need a sequel. Again, this is what I'm talking about. It's actors and not actors. It's directors and producers all trying to relive their past glories. No, if you can't make something original, right, and you have to go back to don't even think about it. No point. Retire. Live off your money. You've made a lot of money. Go and sit beside your pool. Have your sexy women beside you. Your waiters and waitresses handing you your cocktails and enjoy life. That's what I would do. You're done.
So let me send you in a completely different
Yeah,
direction.
go on, yeah.
How about that Bradley Walsh getting a big contract figure?
You got a new Bradley Walsh got a new contract.
Apparently he's going to be back on the TV talk show host thing or something. He's got a big contract.
Hold on now, we'll find out now. I'll Google his name. Let's see. This could be interesting. Bradley Walsh is leaving anyway. I know it's actually funny because there's some YouTube channels out there. Well, it's rumored that he's leaving. No, he is leaving. He has. If you even go and check out his agent's page, they actually show the work that he's doing. He's leaving. He's gone. There's no Series 13 Doctor Who beside Bradley Walsh's name. Bradley Walsh is gone.
I can't remember where I saw this, but I don't think it's just rumor. I think it's really happening. But
right, I'm not seeing nothing on this. Hold on. Bradley Walsh, 16. So he gave up drinking there. Nobody gives a crap. Fair play to you. Anyway, though, pal, giving up drinking is the Chase viewer slam patronizing Bradley Walsh over comment to young player. So yeah, there is some news. Apparently, he slammed some. Actually, it's in every bloody news. Bradley Walsh, the host popular. Oh, there it is. Bradley Walsh, the host popular game show Blankety Blank. Oh, for fuck's sake, Blankety bleeding blank. Oh.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. It's a show I used to watch as a kid, and then Lily Savage did it, which is a drag. And it's a good show, but Bradley Walsh, I don't know now. I don't know if that's going to work with him. Blankety blank. Yeah, 2 million boost. So he got a 2 million. He got £2 million deal to host Blankety Blank. Wow. Yeah, actually, just in case anybody doesn't know what Blankety Blank is, I'm going to show you a little brief clip of what this show actually is, right?
Is that a step up from Doctor Who?
It's not. It's a quiz. It's not even a second. It's not. It's a quiz show. It's not like it's completely different to what.
Well, no, yeah, I realize that. I just meant, would that be like a step up from what he was doing?
Well, now, yeah, you're probably right. Well, here they put up a 21-second thing. Did they? Why is the Irish radio stations talking about? He's not Irish. What he's talking about him for? He's a Brit. Right, I'm gonna show you this blankety blank. Are you gonna show a video? Right, so everybody will. Right, so what happens is in this show, they get a lot of celebrities on, and they play for a normal member of the public. Right, so they give the presenter basically gives them the I think it's the answer, but he leaves a word blank, and then the celebrity that's here has to come up what they think the blank is, and then the contestant then basically has to
okay.
what they say, and then they hold up their bar. So every celebrity that matches up with them, then they get 1 point. So an Irishman hosted it, but he considered himself more British, even though he was born in Limerick. We had Terry Wogan there, Uncle Terry, as most people in Britain like to call him. We just like to call him the traitor. But there you go. So Terry Wogan, and this is a clip from Blankety Blank. Here, we might as well play it. Doesn't matter if YouTube bloody. It's a stupid 1 minute clip.
Richard Scott of the Antarctic said, "We must be going entirely the wrong way. I just saw a polar bear wearing a blank."
So So I seen the polar bear wearing a blank, so you got to fill in the blank.
Seen a polar bear wearing a blanket. Heavens above, do I have to explain everything to you? Foolish little man.
Yeah, we had an equivalent show back in the 70s called Match Game.
All right, so that's basically what it is. So he's had being handed 2 million quid, 2 million quid to do that. So there you go, to do that stupid show. So yeah, 2 million. Wow. So listen, again, I will say this. I don't want to kind of bring it back to Doctor Who again, but it just goes to show you that these guys are making moves away from Doctor Who. Now, Bradley Walsh, we do know is gone. He is gone. And Tolson Cole's gone because he already has a show slated in America. The only two that aren't gone or we don't know anything about yet is Manip Gill and Jodie Whittaker. Now, with new restrictions only announced in Wales, I'm just going to say this again. Hugh Fullerton put out an article 3 or 4 weeks ago to say that Doctor Who was nearing filming, that they were going to be starting up production. It's not going to happen. Okay? So Hugh Fullerton was talking out of his arse, just like everybody else who was on social media saying that the show was going to be filming soon. It is not filming soon. As I said, there's a pandemic, local restrictions have gone up. There is no way Doctor Who is going to be filming anytime soon. I'll be very, very surprised if any announcements made after Wales have just announced other local lockdown. And there, Andrew Jones said it in the chat. He said Tardis is in lockdown. So there's no way that this is happening. I'm sorry to those people out there that believed Hugh Fullerton and believed others out there that said filming was starting. I told you all along, right? And the Mirror backed me up anyway. So when Hugh Fullerton brought out that article in Radio Times, the day later, the Mirror followed it up to say that it's not going into production anytime soon. And it's not going into production anytime soon because no decision has been made. Okay? And remember, as we said, people tend to forget there was an end of season review order. So until that end of season review is complete, and then until the localized lockdowns are lifted, Doctor Who ain't filming anytime soon. Sure, there's certain countries they can't even go to film because of strict lockdown protocols. So Doctor Who, listen, I'll be surprised if Doctor Who even starts filming this side of this year, if we do get serious progress. As far as I'm concerned, I think it's going to be next year. I actually think it's going to be next year because there's no way I could see it being filming.
Next year would make more sense.
And by the way, I pointed this out though. Hugh Fullerton is the same person that said the future of Doctor Who could be animated. And this is the same person that everybody believes when they said that filming was starting. Filming is not starting. And I wish, by the way, there's some in their community as well that keep putting these articles up and saying, oh, they must be telling the truth. You haven't been watching me videos. And I'm even in the group that you're talking about this stuff. And I'm even telling you as a post, and you still haven't watched me videos. If you aren't going to watch me videos and going to put up crap, well, then I can't help you anymore. I've told you this already. Doctor Who's not going into filming. Nobody knows. And I was criticised for saying that you can't say nobody knows because then you're disrespecting everybody else. Well, I'm sorry. We're going through a worldwide pandemic. We're in uncharted territory here, right? And nobody knows. So anybody claiming that Doctor Who's still going to be filming this side of this year hasn't got a clue. Hasn't got a clue, right? You wait until BBC, as I said all along, wait till BBC make any announcement. And by the way, the Comic-Con, looking into more details, it looked like we will be getting some Revolution footage. So you never know. If they're going to be going into production anytime soon with Doctor Who, I can guarantee you, right, that they'll make the announcement at Comic-Con, right? Because if they were going to go into production soon, it would be logical that they would announce it then to let people know, yeah, we are gearing up. We're getting ready. This is the timeline. If nothing else happens and there's no more localized lockdowns, this is when we plan, right? That'll be October, yeah, right? November, December, right? 2 months away, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever it is till the festive special, right? And there's still nothing, and no announcement of when they're filming or anything. So New York Comic Con, logically, if they're gonna make any announcement like that, that's when it will be. But I'm telling you now, there's no way. I can't see it happening with and people that don't live in the UK, okay, and that live on the other side of the pond, that do videos on this, that are saying that it is going into production. You can't say that. You don't live close to what's happening. You know, you might be privy to all the news. Wales has gone into local lockdowns all over. England has, Scotland has, even the Republic of Ireland, Dublin especially. We've gone into a 3-week lockdown to try bring down the numbers because there's been spikes according to everybody. So that's what's happening in Wales right now. So there's no way. Hugh Fullerton was talking out of his backside. And just because the papers are telling you, it doesn't mean it's true. Listen, by the way, people slag the Mirror off. The Mirror was spot on last year with most of its stories. So if you want to know anything about Doctor Who, my personal preference, if you're going to listen to any of the newspapers when they're talking about Doctor Who or any of the rumors, the Mirror is the newspaper to look out for, right? That's the paper that you should, because they're the ones that were given an exclusive last year as well, right? The Mirror newspaper are the ones, and they're the ones that came out and said that Doctor Who's not going into production anytime soon. So again, I will say it again, nobody knows. And there's nothing wrong with saying that because we're in a situation right now where everything is unpredictable. Apologies, the mic is still not working. Apologies, we'll be on again. I look forward my email to your DMs. No problem. Forward your, yeah, do that for me, mate. And we'll get you on again when we do the when we do another panel. Don't forget though, Friday nights is when everybody gets a couple of minutes to come on and have their say. So if there's anything that you want to talk about, let me know. But Alpha Omega, while I have you here, and so everybody can actually hear your voice and talk, because I've been talking a lot. Is there anything? You would like to highlight? Anything you'd like to bring up? Actually,
well, not really. I don't have any content right now. I might have to check into getting back into making content. I used to years and years ago. Like I said before, I had a paranormal channel. I had like 9,000 subs, and I pretty much gave up on making content. So, but I do have a Twitter, and I'm active in being, following all you guys and chat and stuff. So
that's what it was. And thanks Alpha Omega for that. But that's what it was. It was time fracture. Doctor Who. So someone sent me a link to this whole Doctor Who time fracture. Could it be a movie or a play? Right. So yeah, last night on one of my videos, I was going through, because YouTube is obviously, I have to go into the YouTube studio to see how many comments YouTube has actually blocked so I can unblock them. And while I was in there, I got one with a link on it. And when I went, and normally I don't actually press into a link, but because it's someone that I know, I knew it was a legit link. And this Doctor Who time fracture thing came up. Now it didn't give much details. That's the thing. So I'm going to pull it up here because this is news. This was announced only yesterday, if I'm right, or the day before. I just want to see what everybody actually thinks. So, this is what it is. It starts at 6. Hold on, when does this start? Start date, the 17th of February, 2021. And it's in United Kingdom. Oh, so it's going to be like a little Doctor Who experience thing. Let me see. Right, yeah, so this is it. This is the time fracture thing. I will share it on the screen for you if I haven't already, just to show you. So this is Doctor Who news, actually. I was going to do a separate video on it, but there's no point because I don't even know what this is. So I don't want to be talking about anything I don't. So there you go, Doctor Who time fracture. It still does have that stupid logo, but you can clearly see there's two different Tardises there. So that's the darker one. So that looks a bit like more the David Tennant, Christopher Eccleston style Tardis, and this is more blue. So this is obviously the Jodie Whittaker Tardis right there. So it's opening spring 2021. No, it won't be opening in spring 2021 because nothing will be opening in spring 2021. What a year is that? Right, so 1940s, it's the height of the Blitz. All right, so it's going to be an interactive thing, is it? Let me see. From producers of Immerse Everywhere, The Great Gatsby, and official likeness of DC Studios. Doctor Who Time Fracture will welcome its first we got copies of our messages. Its first unit recruits in to HQ in spring 2021. I don't know. I just don't know what this is. This is confusing. Earth, as we know, is at stake, blah, 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 blah. Right, they're just giving us a brief story. I don't want the story. Nobody wants the story. I just want to know what this bloody thing does. Right, here's the trailer. Here, we might as well just play it because I can't be asked to read the rest of it. Let's see what this is all about. Oh, there's actual picture.
Supreme beings.
Right.
Exterminate! Exterminate!
See again.
Get to click below and subscribe to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel.
And you still have a scroll. Can you not smile, woman? Like, you know, where's your smile? Right, I still haven't got a clue what that is. So if anybody can actually tell me what the hell I just watched, is that like you go to this place, you buy a ticket, and then you're playing the role of the Doctor, and it's like an interactive experience where you're the one that's gone around and you have to try save the universe? Or are you working with the Doctor? Because if I'm working with the Doctor, I want to be able to pick my own Doctor, because if they make me pick Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, well then I'm not going to be interested. No, I'm serious. At least give us the option, right? So people can play with Jodie if they want to play with Jodie. If people want to play with other Doctors, they should be given that choice as well. It shouldn't be exclusive just to this era, in fairness, right? So if they're going to do it, make sure you have a chance to either go on an adventure with all of the Doctors, or you could be one of the Doctors. You know what I mean? If you're just going to make this exclusive to the Whittaker era, it's not going to work. And I'm just telling you that it's not going to work because nothing sells. So you have to be careful. But this is not happening in February 2021 because they can't even predict what's going to happen next week, let alone February 2021. I say that's when they hope to have it out, is 2021, but I doubt that's going to happen. Nobody's going to be able to predict that. But I don't know. That to me, it just I don't know what I saw, so I don't know what I'm watching. I seen a Chris Chib. See, this is what annoys me. This is what has already got me riled up already. That Chris Chibnall Cyberman was that's the Cyberman it was, and then you have a Dalek coming out of the water, like invasion. No, I know what they're doing. Listen, just open up the Doctor Who experience again, you idiots. Make it smaller. Nobody wants any of this crap. And if you have any sense, man, just don't highlight this era at all. I'm at that stage. Just don't highlight it. I mean, there's no point. Nobody likes it. It's dead in the water. And if this features it heavily, this new experience thing that you've set up is going to be dead in the water. The reason why Doctor Who experience and all of those other things are gone is because the popularity waned, you know, after the 50th you know, the popularity, whether we like it or not, it did wane. Unfortunately, not as bad as it is now, but this is a huge gamble. See, but again, you can already see as soon as BBC Studios have taken over all of these things, like the Facebook page, the Twitter account, and all of their other social medias, you can already see a promotion happening. It's completely different to the way it was 2 weeks ago. Even look at the posts now. There's more new Who posts or new era posts than there's ever been.
Yeah, I think they're making a big push to try to
They're trying to tell.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a little too late.
It is, isn't it, Alpha? It is. It's way, way, way too late. It's sad because, you know, they could have very easily got themselves out of this situation if they had sacked the two of them after Series 11, but they didn't. So we'll see when Series 13 happens, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. And you know what? This is why I say there's still a chance. And I'm just speculating here. I'm not saying she is going, but this is why I think there is a chance that she could possibly go. It's because the longer that this show stays away, yeah, the longer it stays away off her because of the whole situation, you know, BBC, there's going to be more time since her last series, right? So let's be honest, already everybody's interest for the special is non-existent, right? So could you imagine what it's going to be like for Series 13? There is no, is anybody even talking now? People are wondering why there's no promotion. People are wondering why there hasn't been any time. BBC themselves don't even talk about. And the fact that didn't, and I keep bringing this up because it is very relevant, the fact that the BBC TV license ad did not have Doctor Who on it. You know, when Doctor Who is supposed to be around for the next few years, you think it would feature in an ad for you to encourage you to get your TV license, but it didn't. And that is huge, and that's telling. The fact that they've changed the social media, and I know my little theory video is a little theory video, but I'm starting to really think that that is the reality, that Jodie Whittaker is gone and she's going to be replaced by Joe Martin. And then Joe Martin's going to regenerate then, and then we'll have a new Doctor. That's what I believe is happening. Right? I do not think that if this goes on, and as I said, we keep getting these little localized lockdowns, the longer this goes on, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, the longer this goes on, the more chance Jodie Whittaker has of leaving. Because why would you want to stick around anyway? Think about it logically. If this was to go on for another 6-7 months, and then she's to put away what? How many weeks of filming do they do? Then she's to concentrate on that, and then if she has any projects in the meantime, because she's been waiting for this to film, then she would have to put them on hold. And this woman is clearly a woman that is making moves because she's already producing her own movie. She's already starting in another show as it is, right? So she's already making the moves. And as I said, I've put all these little things together. And yes, I might be coming up with a theory that's out there, but I do firmly believe there is a chance that she could go. Seriously, I don't care what newspapers have said in the past. I don't care what she has said. This pandemic has changed the whole situation, and the longer it goes on, right? The BBC are just sitting there and are watching, and trust me, they know there's a negative reaction to this series. And as I said, it doesn't matter what the bots do, right? By trying to keep Jodie Whittaker's name trending or this era trending, it's not going to make a difference. The longer this goes on, and Alpha Omega will agree with me, the longer this goes on, the fans have already been disillusioned already. So you're making them wait even longer. Well, why would they want to come back?
Right, fans are already tuning out, and you know, you go another 6 months, a year, or whatever without a series. It's people are going to be interested in checking back into the series.
Exactly. And Alpha Omega, remember this as well. We still haven't gotten the fallout of the timeless child, the timeless children. Like, so that special that's coming up, we don't know how that's going to be affected by what happened in the very last episode of the series. So
I can't believe the figures are going to be very good.
No, they're not. And everybody can predict it right now. Everybody knows what's going to happen. I just wish BBC, listen, this is why I say this is the perfect opportunity for her to go. You can do it. Because technically speaking, and I will say technically speaking, if they were to leave the festive special till New Year's Day, then technically she's done her 3 years, right? So she does the New Year special goes out on New Year's Day. Well, then technically speaking, and I'm saying technically speaking, she's done her 3 years, so she can live. She can live, and then they can change the doctor. You know what I mean? And that's why I think the longer that this situation goes on, the more likely that this is to happen. Now, again, as I said, this is my theory. This is just my opinion. I know there are rumors out there suggesting that she could be off, and there's suggestions that she's staying even beyond Series 13. Right? This is just me putting all the information together, as I said. I could nearly bet my house on it now at this stage. I think she will. I don't see her any point of her hanging around. To be honest, if they're going to be if there's going to be even more delays in the filming, when she could be going off and doing other stuff that she wants to do herself, that she enjoys doing herself, like producing her movie, and she's got a couple of other projects as well in the pipeline, you know, and she could go and concentrate on doing them. Doctor Who is a big production, you know, and going to Wales right now is not an option, right? Filming in some parts of the UK is not an option, you know, and with the massive scale that this show is on, it's just impossible. It's impossible. So I don't see Doctor Who filming this side at all. And you know, there's a couple of YouTubers out there that have taken stick because, you know, they've said this, including myself, and I think it's unfair. You know, everybody jumping the gun. The situation in the UK and in Ireland changes daily. Even Boris Johnson, I think, came out today to say that even the measures that they have in place mightn't be enough because it doesn't seem to be doing anything yet. So there could be even further restrictions. So again, Doctor Who, and I'll say it again, nobody knows until BBC tell us when it's actually going to film. And keep an eye on BBC press office, by the way. If anybody is on Twitter, BBC press office is on Twitter. They do give early morning announcements, and they do late night announcements as well. They've announced some other shows are beginning filming. And it's interesting, the shows that they have mentioned, because most of them are actually filmed in the studio. Whereas Doctor Who, as you know now, is mostly filmed outdoors and not in studio. Obviously, the Tardis parts are obviously all filmed indoors, but most of it is filmed outdoor. And this is the difficulty that they have. And as I said, Wales have now upped and tightened up more restrictions. So it's not happening. It's not happening. It's just not. And the longer this goes, as I said, there's a chance that Whittaker could leave because, as I said, there'd be no point of her hanging on. And, you know, I've got a funny feeling that the Comic-Con is going to be where it's going to be announced. So I just have a feeling there's just something that doesn't sit right with this, especially after I heard that this is supposed to be a pre-record. But why is it a pre-record? Well, think about it logically. If she was to say that she was leaving live, obviously you'd get a live reaction, wouldn't you? And would be fans devastated, so the reaction would be live. I think she's doing it. I think they will do it as a pre-record. That's just me. It's just me guessing. But if I was BBC and if we were going to move on with someone else, that's when I would do it. That'd be the perfect time to do it.
Unless they want to spite us all and just have her stick around for the 60th.
Yeah, there's some people saying she's going to stay up until the 60th. There's no way that's happening. I'm going to tell you right now, she is not. Even if she stays the festive special, and my theory is wrong, and she stays the festive special, and then she's in Series 14, I can tell you now, right? And even the most loyal Jodie Whittaker fan will say the same thing. She's going after Series 13. There's no way she's staying any further than that. She's not staying for 14, 15 because there won't be a Series 14, 15. Just won't be. They won't, because there won't be the fandom there. They cannot go another year. In fairness, I think they should cut their losses Christmas. There is no point of going any further with this. You're just going to damage the brand even further. Simple as that. What do you think, Alpha Omega?
Well, yeah, I'd agree with that if they were logical people in charge. I still keep waiting for them to realize, like, if they get rid of the license and their BBC is forced to go to like a subscription base, and they're going to have to realize the financial realities of things, and it's not profitable. And yeah, I really don't think she'll be around till the 60th. Probably, like you said, I don't know if she'll do a 13th or not, but hopefully not.
No, I just don't see. I just don't see the logic of keeping her when our era. It's not just her though; it's him and BBC. I just want to say this, and I'm going to say it. Don't get it twisted that we all think that Jodie Whittaker is the problem here. She is one of many problems. But your main problem is Chris Chibnall. So if you do get rid of Jodie Whittaker, yeah, all I'll just say to you is this, is that Chris Chibnall also must go. There's no point in getting rid of Jodie Whittaker if you're going to keep Chris Chibnall and say bring in Joe Martin. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. You're going to bring in Joe Martin because that's the route I think you're going to go. You need a new showrunner in place to do that. Chris Chibnall is not the showrunner to bring this show forward, Alpha Omega, because he's already proved it if we look at where we are.
Right. I think there also has to be changes at the very top.
Yeah.
Because even if they get a new showrunner and word's coming down from the top, like I think they forced Moffat to do in his final seasons, then it's still going to be woke.
I agree. Lots of changes need to be made. But for Doctor Who, those two definitely need to go. And I'd even go as far as to say Piers Wenger as well, because he's the one that hired Chibnall in the first place. If you make a monumental mistake like that, like I believe Piers Wenger has done, well then he should be fired too. He should be fired.
I would hope so.
See, I know what's going to happen, and I'm going to predict it now. They're going to use Whittaker as a scapegoat. See, Chibnall and Whittaker are friends, but here's the thing that Whittaker doesn't realise. When the stakes are down and Chibnall needs to look after himself, trust me, I don't care he won't care if you're friends with him years. He's going to throw you under a bus, and that's exactly what he's going to do. They're going to use her as the scapegoat and say, okay, it was because she wasn't popular, it's because of this, that, and the other, when it's really down to the right. Right? And that's where the main problem is. But they'll use her as the scapegoat. And I've said this is what I think will happen. I think he will use her. And I think their relationship has soured a little bit anyway. But yeah, he'll use her as a scapegoat because he'll want to have his job.
No, do you think he would stay if there's a situation where he could stay, but she was going to have to go?
Yeah, I think he would. I think he'd stab her in the back in a heartbeat.
Oh, okay.
I don't think there is any loyalty with Chris Chibnall. I don't, because think about it, even when she's being slated by everybody, which she was, in fairness, where was he to back her up? He was never around to back her up. She had to back herself up, but other people had to back her up. But he was never there. He's the showrunner. He's made one statement or something in the news, and that was to have a go at fans, right? But
right.
But it wasn't to have a go at fans at, criticising Jodie Whittaker. Personally, it was to criticise the fact that we had a problem with a female doctor, and that's all he was caring about. He said nothing about his friend being attacked, and she was by some in this fandom for unwarranted reasons. To be quite honest with you,
well, he's more concerned with people having a problem with his vision for the show.
Yeah, but he'll save his own skin. They all will. Even Kurtzman as well. If he's there, right, in Star Trek, and he knows that jobs heads are going to roll, I'm telling you now, he'll be the first one that I go to the execs, right, you need to get rid of this, to save his own fucking skin. That's what they do. And Chris Chibnall is the problem here. I've said it, I've been saying it a lot. Look, especially these last few months, I've been trying to highlight that everybody should shift the focus away from Whittaker anyway. Right? We all know what her flaws are as the Doctor, as an actress, and we do know what her personal beliefs are because she hasn't shut up. Right? Only lately, you know, she's telling us now that she's gender fluid, whatever. Right? Okay, we might like all of that, but you look at the writing, you look at the scripts, you look at the last 2 years and what we've gotten, and you can clearly see who the main culprit is here, and it's not Whittaker. She might come out with 9 statements and say, little girls have to cut their hair, this, that, and the other, and the male gaze and sitting in corners and all that, and breaking up the glass ceiling and the scrunch face and all of that other rubbish that she does. But take all of that away, right? You're left with what? Bad writing and bad decisions. Chris Chibnall, Piers Wenger made the decision of hiring Chibnall, which was the bad decision. Then Chibnall then went and hired Whittaker, Walsh, Manip, and Cole, which was all the wrong decision, right? And then he went then, and instead of keeping some of the experience that was there, he got rid of them all and brought in his own team of writers from Hollyoaks and Emmerdale and places like that. Not good enough.
Yeah.
Not good enough. So he's the main culprit. Everything that's happened to this era and the ratings, the fact that nobody likes it anymore is down to Chris Chib. I hate that man. I've no problem saying that. I will never forgive that man. I am so angry with that man. You don't understand. My anger goes very deep. What he has done to Doctor Who is single-handedly the most disgraceful, vile thing that I've seen happen to any franchise out there. Don't care what anybody. Listen, everybody, Star Wars, their Star Treks and all. Fuck all of them, right? They can survive, and they will survive, right? They will. People moan about those franchises. Cop onto yourselves. In a few years' time, someone will make a decent movie and it'll be all rosy again, right? But you can't make the Doctor's origin story rosy again. That's the thing, right?
He ruined an institution.
Yeah, you've ruined an institution. Star Wars can survive. Listen, Star Wars is already surviving in a way in The Mandalorian, right? They keep doing little projects like that. Star Wars will build itself up again until the right time comes along to do a brand new Star Wars movie. And if they get the right team in, which I do believe they will eventually, then you will have Star Wars back, right? It's the same with Star Trek. Star Trek is not as damaged because they've done separate entities. They haven't went and actually got the original Star Trek, the original series, and remade that, right? They've done separate shows, right? So as far as I'm concerned, Star Trek is in a healthier position to save itself. But Doctor Who isn't. Doctor Who is even worse because he changed the origins, right? And it doesn't matter. You can all say, well, we reject it. It's still on fucking screen, guys. Don't care what you all say. You can ignore it. It's there. It's like the TV movie, right? It's there, right? So until someone comes in and actually, wipe the slate clean, right? Then this is always going to be there. I'll never forgive that man for what he did to the Time Lords. I'll never forgive that man for the way he portrayed the Time Lords as a bunch of murdering, self-serving idiots. We do know during the Time War and all of that, and during previous eras, that the Time Lords can be a little bit like everybody else. You know, if anybody messes with them, they're not going to be messed with. We know that, right? Everybody has a bad side to them, including the Time Lords, right? But to do that, to do what they did, no, I still can't. I can't reconcile with it. I just can't. And I don't know what I'd say to the man if I met him. I wouldn't get physical with him because that's not what's the point? It wouldn't make me feel any better. But I wouldn't know what to say to him if I was in the room because I'd have so much to say, if you know what I mean. But I'd be really angry. This man has just destroyed my childhood.
Yeah, tell him thanks for destroying a 55+ year.
Destroyed my childhood. That's what he did. He destroyed that. Do you know what he did? He destroyed that safety net I always had. You know, when things go bad in your life and stuff, and you look for something to latch onto, you know, it's going to either cheer you up, you know, it's something that'll get you through. Well, Doctor Who was that for me. And I can't even watch, you know, I do the new Who watch alongs on the channel, and I can do them on the channel because we're all talking and getting excited. But I mean, I've got all the box sets there. We tried to watch Doctor Who the other night, and I had to knock it off because I start getting upset. And I know it's stupid, and people probably like, are you getting upset over TV? But again, I will say to some people out there, it was more than the TV show. And this show means the world to me. And to see it the way it's gone, it's not going, listen, it's not going to recover. The best that we can hope for is that we get an era that we could say, yeah, much better than what we've gotten in the last few years. But it's never going to recapture the RTD days when it first came back on screen in 2005. Those days are over. The days of RTD and the early days of Moffat of Doctor Who are gone.
Well, I started watching like 43 years ago.
Yeah,
and it's really, really sad to see what's happened.
That's what. Yeah, I mean, I can still watch Classic Who because I class that Alpha Omega as a separate entity to New Who, so that hasn't been as tainted as much, you know. I mean, but I did watch an Unearthly Child there, and I got very upset because obviously the Timeless Children just craps all over it, and you see Hartnell in the role for the first time, and it gets quite emotional when you know what's happened. It is. It's really had to affect me. This. I now know how Star Wars fans felt because, you know, sometimes I used to react like, "Oh, will you get over yourself? It's a bloody movie, man. Someone will come along and rectify it." But no, I know exactly how you feel. It doesn't feel like no matter what anybody does, it doesn't matter if someone comes in, it's still there, isn't it? And I think that's what Star Wars fans mean. It's still there. It doesn't matter. It's still there unless it's completely erased from history. And that's the thing. I don't know.
I can't at this point. I'm trying to think of some way that this could be salvaged, and somebody smarter than me is going to have to come up with something. They're going to have to start with a clean sweep of everything. As far as I can see, I don't know.
Yeah, I've just found out that Tim Davey now firing lefties after they try to ignore his rules.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the firings I've seen are of Neil Andrew, Sue Barker, and they're hardly left leaning. Gary Lineker basically stuck two fingers up to Tim Davey. Did he fire Gary Lineker? Because if he didn't fire Gary Lineker, then he's not changing. So, you know, that's the bottom line with that. If he's not firing Gary Lineker, well, then Tim Davey can do jack shit, right? Because Gary Lineker purred to him, right? By the way, anybody who doesn't know who Gary Lineker is, just for years on the other side of the Atlantic. So Gary Lineker is a host on a pundit show that shows soccer, as you call it, but we call it football over here.
Yeah.
He's a pundit. And he's on Twitter, and he's taken in a refugee into his mansion. You know, I made a big deal out of it and all this, and he's really left leaning. Like, so he's the typical Black Lives Matter, all of that. He's one of them. He's just a typical celebrity, shill celebrity today. And when Tim Davey came in, when Tim Davey made his statement, Gary Lineker then basically put out stuff after Tim Davey had told him that he didn't want it, and that was Gary Lineker basically sticking two fingers up to Tim Davey. So unless Tim Davey fires Gary Lineker, then I don't want to know. Tim Davey's not going to do that. I actually think that this whole thing with Tim Davies seems to be a bit of a red herring, to be honest. I don't think he's going to do that, and to be quite honest with you, and I don't think he's going to be able to implement the changes that we would want. So there's no point.
I don't know enough about the guy. I don't know if he's just giving lip service to what he's plans to do, or like Leah said, give him time to get his stuff together and when he can actually affect some change. But so far, I'm not seeing much from him. I don't know.
Right. Chris is just after telling me there that the chat hasn't been working for the last 10 minutes. And then, and then he said, oh, there you go, data dump. I don't know what's been going on, but listen, weird crap has been going on with my YouTube channel. Actually, insane things about weird crap as well. All of a sudden, my subscribers have jumped as well. I'm not complaining. I'm just, I'm just kind of wondering. Right, hold on, there we go. Oh, there. I don't know what's going on with the chat, boys. YouTube
subscribers, maybe you need some more weird stuff to happen.
Would you be smiling if you were playing the current 13th Doctor, says Chris. Is that to me? About the thing that we were talking about earlier. Yeah, no, I wouldn't mind being in an adventure with a Doctor. But if you're going to ask me which Doctor I'd like to be on an adventure with, it certainly wouldn't be Whittaker's Doctor. She should not be killed. You see what happens when people, and this is the way she's written though, but you see what happens when Whittaker's Doctor tries to help people. Someone always dies. Now, I'm not saying that didn't happen with other Doctors, but it did. But you see it a lot more with Whittaker's Doctor because she's written incompetently. I don't know. I mean, look.
I think the second Doctor would be a lot of fun to hang out with.
Yeah, I'd love to hang out with Troughton, all right. Or Pertwee. You'd have a good time with Pertwee as well, actually. I would just love to go on an adventure with Hartnell because, I'm not whacking me knee. Because, he would give out to you. And I wouldn't mind being given out to by his Doctor, to be honest with you, when he's telling you off. And I love all these mannerisms as well with the with when he does all the little giggling, the laughing and all. I love all of them. Yeah. So I wouldn't mind going on an adventure with his Doctor either. But no, certainly not Whittaker's. Jesus, you'd be with her 5 minutes and she'll have you dead. That's women for you. Can't pilot a TARDIS and can't be the Doctor. Except if you're River Song, then you can have the TARDIS as far as I'm concerned, because River and the Doctor. And you know what? It's actually for old school fans, that is kind of, one thing with River. And that's why I kind of do be shocked that River has been widely accepted. Now, there are some corners of the fandom that don't like her, right? But she has been widely accepted. But a person that's basically on the same level as the Doctor, River, us fans had no problem. See, this is the thing as well, isn't it, that they never talk about. River is basically the Doctor's equal. Not basically, is the Doctor's equal, right? We've seen it play out on the show, right? And him saving her and she saving him, right? Equal. Did we have a problem with River Song? Were we complaining about how River, was stronger than the Doctor? No, we never complained. Why? Because River actually had in it now. I know Chris Chibnall. I know Moffat went a bit mad with her then near the end. But let's be honest, it's at least River Song had an interesting story arc and she was an interesting character. That's why we didn't mind.
Yeah, even though she had some snarky comments and stuff, she really cared for the Doctor.
Exactly.
Yeah, and enough to give up her regenerations to save him.
Exactly. No, spot on. I mean, River is a character that I'm, as you know yourselves, I like early River and all of that. I do think Moffat kind of massacred her near the end because he just kept bringing her back and doing these unnecessary stories when we already knew the end of our life story, which was in the Silence of the Library First to the Dead. We got to see how River's story ended, but Moffat just couldn't resist because she was an interesting character, though. But again, you are right, spot on. The reason why she might have had a few snarky comments here and there, but our character was interesting, our story was interesting, and as you said, she deeply cared for the Doctor, so we let that slide. You know, we do let things slide when it makes sense. You know what I mean? We're not. Everybody thinks that people that have a problem with Whittaker, these are all just sexist and all this. Listen, if Whittaker's Doctor got half of the writing that River Song got, and the only thing that we would be complaining about probably is her acting. Is she good enough? Does she stand up to this great script? And that's one thing that I do feel that we have been, and I said this the other night, we have been cheated because we will never fully know what a Jodie Whittaker Doctor would have looked like because she wasn't given the tools to do it. And obviously she didn't do enough research, in my opinion. It was the wrong choice. It'll always be the wrong choice, and that's never going to change. And I think, look, we could talk about Jodie again all night, but I'm not going to because I'm sick of talking Doctor Who. So we're going to be talking about it on Friday. I don't know we will, but because we're getting to that stage now where we're coming close to the special now, so there will be a lot more focus just in case there is any news. But I'm just going to check and see if there is anything else out there. If not, we will call it a night, and I'll let Alpha Omega do his clubs and all of that. But we'll just see if anything's popped up on Twitter, any breaking news from any of the usual sources. See if there's anything of interest before we go. Let's see. We've got James Wood kicking ass on Twitter as usual. Daniel just saying it was great to hear Ninja Knight on the channel again. Yeah, it was great. It's great to have a fellow Irishman and a fellow dub on with me, to be honest with you. I feel like, believe it or not, even though I'm so used to having all you guys on the panel that do be on with me, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because he is a fellow Irishman. I feel a bit more at ease. And I don't know what it is. I feel like I can get away with it a little bit more, if you know what I mean. It's a bit weird. It's just because when us Irish people talk, you hear us. Like we could talk for, as we say, we could talk for Ireland. We just.
Well, you could say anything. I'm not going to get offended.
That's it. I mean, look, we're just Irish. We just love. Waterboy 2 on Netflix 9 minutes ago by Fandom. Kevin James would love to see Adam Sandler return as Bobby Boogler. I think he would crush it. Waterboy 2 on Netflix. Colin, Adam Sandler, bar the one that he did recently, hasn't done a great movie in a while. And I wouldn't like to see a Waterboy 2. Sure, even Waterboy 1 was a bit dumb, to be honest with you.
It was dumb, and a lot of movies were dumb, but some of them, I've got kind of guilty pleasures.
I loved it. I'm just saying, do we really want a second one though? Because they did it with Dumb and Dumber, and it didn't work. Dumb and Dummier or whatever it was called. It didn't work. Yeah, leave it alone. Waterboy was a good movie on its own. If Adam Sandler wants to come back out and actually start doing funny movies again, I'm all for that. Instead of Netflix just throwing him money, actually make him do something decent for a change, will you? God's sake, that man has talent, but he seems to have gotten lazy.
I think he's doing a sequel to 50 First Dates.
Oh, no way.
I think so.
And that's a great movie. Oh, man, don't do a second one. Get away. Oh, right, so that's that. Let's see, is there any more? I'm just trying to see if there's any more news. So we got that bit of news there. Anything on no, you don't want to hear about the football. Sure, that would bore the crap out of you. No, I think that's it. So that's the breaking news that's just came up there. Adam Sandler and Martha Boy too. The what's his face would like. Well, that's because he wants to be in the movie because his career's gone to shit. So no thanks, mate. You know, we're not making these movies when his career's on the wane. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, as I said, Waterboy was a good enough movie on its own. A standalone movie. You don't need a second part. What's the second part going to be? The same shit over again. This time he's married with instead of his girl, he's married, and his mother lives with him, and the donkey. What? And then the mother, Kathy Bates, tries to do all the same shit that she did in the first movie. And then the second movie, then he wins and they become a hero, blah, blah, blah. No, they've already done it once. You don't do it again. Leave it alone, Netflix. What is that? You can't do anything original. Netflix starting to get on my tits now. Cuties and all that rubbish. Yeah, right. But now Netflix is there. I don't know. They seem to be getting more woke to me now. I said a few weeks back or a few months back that the one thing that Netflix had going for it seemed to get the balance right. Well, if you've seen the latest shows that have been announced, the balance only seems to be one way now. You know,
they are. Yeah, when they first started out, they were fine, and lately they're going more and more down the wrong road, I think.
Yeah. So apparently, there's a YouTuber that we know apparently says that they have a lot of Doctor Who crazy info that they can't talk about. I'm at work and I can't even talk about a mind-boggling. So apparently, Matrix Lord, I don't know if he's actually going to announce any news, but he did put it up on his Twitter feed, so obviously he wanted it to go public. But apparently he has some news, so I'll be interested to see. I won't be surprised anyway, and I'm just going to say it out here because, you know, don't be surprised if the news that he brings out is in contradiction to everything that I've put out, because there seems to be a bit of a problem with me doing news because of, you know, I've had a few things said to me, and you know, and it's not on. So I wouldn't be surprised anyway. I've gotten to that stage where I don't give a crap anymore. If you're going to badmouth and do videos about some, take the piss out of them because they do Doctor Who news because you believe your Doctor Who news is better than anybody else's, or is more 100% accurate than anybody else's, then you can't say that. You can't say that. How nobody's source is right and nobody's source is wrong because nobody knows. Nicholas Horton has put a £2 super chat. He says the live chat's playing up for me. Yeah, see, we seem to be having a problem with the live chat. I don't know. I already did an update for this this Chromebook before we started, and then it popped up again. So I don't know. Maybe it's got something to do with. I might have to do an update, guys. Maybe that's what the problem is. And Alpha Omega, great stream and guests. Well, you're one of them, so thank you for that as well. £10 super or $10 super chat. Thank you. I'll put that up on the screen. There you go. So yeah, listen. So you'll have some news, but as I said, don't be surprised. And I'm just saying it out straight because I'm kind of pissed off at people taking quotes at me and Eddie and everybody else, and then pretending to be your friend. Just do your news. I do my news. As simple as that. But don't be surprised, as I said, if it contradicts everything that me and Eddie have been saying, because that's what seems to be happening lately for some weird reason. You know, just do your news. Doesn't matter who's right or wrong. It's not about who's right or wrong anyway. It's what the sources are giving us, and we just put that out there. But when you're being called a liar, and your friend is being called a liar for putting out information that other YouTubers put out as well. So I would say if we're getting information from sources and you're calling us liars, does that mean their sources are liars? If you're doing the same thing, well then should we not assume that your source is lying through its ass as well? I've kept my mouth silent but I'm actually sick of this little pops at the fandom because of me, Eddie, and everybody else that do news and were criticised about it. We're called lawyers in this fandom, and
Just
then
just keep doing what you're doing. I know you.
but Mike says, but all your news has been wrong. I don't know where you're getting that from. Spyfall news, I got spot on. Sure, I got so spot on. In fact, that YouTube removed the video. I actually put up proof of it as well. Screenshots, by the way, and screenshots to why the video was taken down. So no, you're wrong. Not all my news has been wrong. Also, I predicted the Judoon last year. I also said that the Cybermen were returning last year, and I said that the Daleks were returning last year. I also predicted that the Sea Devils were supposed to be in Series 12, and in fact they were, but were cut out Season 12. So no, you're listening to other people out there because there's people out there that have an ego, and because they've been doing the news a long, long time, they think they are the source of information. But unfortunately, there are new kids on the block. Yeah, and these new kids on the block do have genuine sources. I'm not saying these people out there that criticize us don't have genuine sources, but at the end of the day, you do your videos and we'll do our videos. Yeah, and don't be, if you want to comment on the information, go ahead. Don't ever call anybody a liar, because nobody is lying in this fandom. We're given what, and I said this a few weeks back, and I'll say it again. We're only reporting what we're being given. But nobody can claim that their source information that they're getting is better than anybody else's or is correct over someone else's, because nobody knows. And this is what I've been saying for the last few weeks especially. Nobody knows what's going to happen. So I'm sick of this because I've seen a few people take a swipe at Eddie. I've seen people do videos take a swipe at me as well and put up little comments clearly taking a swipe at me and Eddie. Grow up. Do your news and mind your own business. Simple as that. I'm sick of this, right? There's room for it all. And I don't care how many years you've been doing your source news, you YouTubers out there. I don't care, right? Just do it. All right? And I've checked on your videos, the Tardis Zone official, and you are right. I know. It's all there for people to see. I don't take down videos. My videos are all still there. I predicted, and I got a lot of stuff right last year, but there's this campaign against me, and other YouTubers out there have a little campaign again because they don't want people listening to this channel. I predicted a lot of things last year, and I was spot on. And I even had BBC get YouTube remove a video. I even proved it to everybody. I told you what was going to happen at the end of Spyfall, and I was bang on. And you know what the funny thing about that is, by the way, right? And to prove that I'm right, and if you want to actually waste your time, because I know you lunatics do, but if you want to waste your time, Mike, go on to Facebook, right? Go through Doctor Who. Someone's either having a piss or a drink. Go through Facebook, right? And you will see a video that was recorded on Spyfall, right? And that's the video I did. Now, the funny thing about it was taken down on YouTube. You see, I was clever, you see. When it was taken down off YouTube, what I basically did was I re-uploaded it on Facebook. And that video is still up there to that day, right? And it shows you clearly that it says video taken down for giving away trade secrets and embargoed information. So, no, because I hate when people question me, because people are saying I'm making this stuff up and I'm lying, and I'm not. I'm not one for that. I don't like playing games. I don't even want any of this drama, and I never have wanted this drama. Drama just came to me because I had a different opinion that people didn't like. I'm not putting up with it anymore. That's why I've banned toxic accounts out there, and I'm not going to have anybody, so-called friends of mine that are supposed to be my friend, taking little swipes at my other friend because you don't like the news that they're putting out there. I don't give a flying fuck. Grow up. Right? We're all in this together. We all do this source news. And it's not about who's right or wrong. We just put out what we're told.
Well, yeah, when you put it out there, though, haven't you said that it's rumor?
Yeah, I've said it's rumor and speculation, but there's idiots in this fandom, as you know yourself, Alpha, that even when you put a disclaimer up like that, you're still called a liar. You're still called a liar, and even though, you know, you're spreading rumors, I'm not spreading rumors, I'm reporting on what I've rumors. There's a difference. Not spreading them. Well, okay, you want to call it spreading rumors, it's spreading rumors, but isn't that what we do in the fandom? Isn't it? We get information, someone gives us information, and then what? We keep it to ourselves and we keep our mouth shut. We don't say anything about it. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Right? We put the news out there for so fans can discuss it. Right? But there seems to be a little thing in this fandom lately, because I've noticed that certain people that do the same thing as us are having little pops because, you know, we're doing the same thing as them, and because our information doesn't match up with them, there seems to be a problem with that. Listen, at the end of the day, as I said, it's not. We just put the information out there. If it means so much to you, whether you're right or wrong, fine. To me, it doesn't. At this stage, last year it might have been a bit like that for me. But this year, I don't give a crap. I don't give a crap. I put that news out there. If Jodie Whittaker stays, she stays. I don't give a crap. I reported that anyway. I've also reported that she's staying. So I haven't just said that she's gone. I've also reported she stayed. I've actually been pretty more balanced this year than I was last year. Right? And any other news that I get out there or any other source information that I find myself, I tell you where I find it. For example, I found a whole thread on Reddit. And I put it up and it said information found on Reddit. Right? I tell you where I get the information from, and if I get it from my own source, I'll tell you it's from my own source. It's simple as that. But I'm hating this lately. There seems to be, even with YouTubers that are supposed to be kind of working together, there seems to be this whole kind of thing where one source will put out, one YouTuber will put out information, and then it's guaranteed then that a YouTuber that does it will come out with something that's totally opposite. And that's what I'm noticing happening. So I have to start questioning them whether the news that some of these people are actually putting out, are they only putting it out in retaliation, or are they actually putting it out because they're receiving it? Right? Because I know every single piece of information me and Eddie put out, we're receiving it. Because me and Eddie are in close contact when it comes to, as I said, sharing their information with each other and their sources with each other, right? And I can tell you now, right? And you know me that I don't bullshit. So when I tell you that Eddie is reliable and that Eddie is getting his information from legit sources, well then you know by following me and that have been following me that long, know to take my word for it, right? Because my word is as solid as fucking oak as they say, right? In Jerry Maguire, except in that it wasn't as solid as oak. But it's as solid as oak here, right? So where's this so-called chaos in Cardiff bullshit? Well, go and check out my BBC video that I done, the little BBC interview radio. Go and check out my Totem Cold clip that basically talks about why Jodie Whittaker didn't do a certain line. All the videos are up there, Mike. All the videos are there, mate. Chaos in Cardiff did happen. Who are you listening to? Dr. Freedom and all those other idiots. Who are you listening to? Because I can tell you, I can guarantee you now, it did happen because it's been reported that there was problems behind the production of Series 11 and there was problems behind the production of Series 12. Would you like me to actually get up the actual BBC radio interview where the DJs actually talk about, or where they said that they got some information? Would you like me to put that video up now? Because chaos in Cardiff did happen. You can deny it all you want. Chris Chibnall was gone missing. Pete Mitoig, whatever his name is, was acting showrunner. He was even. Do you remember when the series? What was this series? What was the Sylvester McCoy? The Sylvester McCoy DVD or Blu-ray release. Do you remember they did the trailer with Ace? Yeah, Pete Mitoig was in charge of all of that. Pete Mitoig was the one that was on Twitter promoting it. He was the one that was promoting the series. Chris Chibnall was nowhere to be seen. Chaos in Cardiff did happen. Listen, even BBC Radio themselves even acknowledged that there was problems. He did storm off. I don't know why these YouTubers that are out there just want you to think that everything is rosy. It's not. It's not rosy. It did happen. And this is not wishful thinking from me or any other YouTuber out there that does this. It happened. It actually happened. I've showed enough. Even during Series 11, I showed the Tolson Cole Instagram story where someone asks him, did Jodie Whittaker stay alive? Right? Because there was even problems there. I showed that video. I even showed where Monique Gill changed our Instagram bio twice, forced a had time traveler on it, and then a had time traveler removed. There was seriously after Series 11, apparently there was P45s handed in, and they were told to hang on another year. And there's in fight because there's certain things that Chris Chibnall wanted to do that certain people didn't agree with, and there's different factions hiding within the BBC. I know he does the writing for all the Blu-rays. Chips has never promoted the Blu-ray collection. Yeah, you're right. But listen, Mike. People are going to have their opinion on chaos in Cardiff, yeah? And you obviously don't believe it happened. But with all the evidence and all the stuff that we put up last year, and even the interviews, right? It's clear to see something did happen, right? And people that are on the other side can be in denial and pretend that it's all rosy behind the scenes. It's not. There's a civil war going on. BBC Studios have already taken over all the social medias. There's a infighting between BBC Studios and BBC Wales. And BBC Studios looks like it's winning out. And BBC Wales are the ones that are in charge of Doctor Who. So I'm telling you now, I don't make stuff up. I might hate this era, Doctor Who, but trust me, and I'm telling you this. If I get news to say that she's staying, I've already got news to say that Chaos in Cardiff didn't happen, right? And I got evidence to actually back it up, or even little snippets to even, hint at the fact that it might have been made up.
Yeah,
right?
I'm saying.
And I would have promoted. But the fact is, all the evidence that I got hinted towards that something did happen, so I reported on it. So, you know what I mean? There's YouTubers out there that don't like me, just like some people out there in social media. Do I care? I used to. I don't care anymore. They can dislike me all they want. It's what fuels me, or what keeps me going. Because the more that people hate me, the more I want to keep going, keep streaming, and keep doing what I do. Nobody's going to shut me up saying what I'm saying, and nobody is going to listen. There's one thing I can honestly say about myself. When it comes to this stuff, my wife would be the first one to call me up. She thought for 1 second that I was leading all yous on a merry dance. She does not like for 1 second someone that makes shit up. And if I was making all this Doctor Who stuff up, trust me, Cheryl's even said it on the stream live in front of people.
I kicked the shit out of you.
She kicked it, there you go. She kicked the shit out of me. She doesn't believe in that, and she wouldn't have that, right? I always show, seriously, when I get at him, I show Cheryl first, right? Because she's my my right-hand man, as they say, a right-hand woman, whatever, right? And I get goes through her, okay? So listen, I don't need to justify myself, but I'm just sick of this all the time. I've seen it lately. YouTubers out there that do source news are having fight at other people and friends of mine because their information doesn't correlate with theirs. Who cares? Who cares? At the end of the day, if you being right is all that matters, then that's not what I'm in it for. And I will admit I was a bit like that last year. But this year, when I decided to do the source news, and I said I was going to be impartial this year, and I have been, believe it or not, and even when I've gotten information to say that she's staying, I've put it out there as well, right? I've put both out. I've said it Jordan streams as well. Well, if Whittaker stays, we'll see. And I even said, when Matrix Lord announced it on his video, I even said, well, Matrix Lord, when I was saying my own news, I said, but by the way, Matrix Lord is saying something different. Matrix Lord is saying that not only she's staying for Series 13, she's staying for Series 14 and 15. I said that on this channel several times, right? So I'm being balanced. I'm not only giving my news, I'm giving other people's news, which I was criticised for not doing last year. And it's funny that I'm doing that this year, but the person that criticised me last year is doing the exact opposite. Is doing what I did last year. So I don't know what's going on. Don't know what's going on with this fandom, but you can't say nothing. You're not allowed. You're not allowed to do rumor or speculation anymore because you're a liar. You're a liar. And I'm sick of this. I've got this reputation on Facebook. I've got this reputation on YouTube and Twitter that I'm somehow on this, that, and the other, right? Until people actually come and listen to me on my channel, right? And there's a lot that have changed their opinions on me after what they heard about me on Twitter. Right? Because what you hear about someone on Twitter, YouTube, or Facebook isn't a true representation of what you're being told. If you want to get to know me, or anybody in that fandom wants to get to know me, come on to my channel, because I'm as honest as you'll ever get. Right? This is not fake. This is not put on. This is not a personality. This is me. This is known. Right? This is what I am. There's nothing fake about me. Right? What you see is what you get. And I'll always be the same because what's the point? There's no point being fake. Me wife is just at the leaving a message there for you all under Teddy Terrier Tales. So I'll just put it up and I'll just read what she says anyway, because she's in the next room. She says, for the record, if Noel was making this stuff up, he'd be creating chaos in our home for fun. I wouldn't be having that. Exactly, because look at all the stuff that's happened to myself and Cheryl since I started to do all of this, right? Okay, so why? And then she followed it up with this. I disagree with him on a lot, most stuff he rants about, but I can guarantee you he never puts anything fake out just to stir the pot. Well, anybody that knows me, love, will know that anyway. So, I mean, we don't really have to. I just thought I had to say something this time because, you know, I'm just not liking the behavior of some people out there. And if you're going to do a video ranting and bitching about me and not mention my name, but you clearly are talking about me, but then you mention my friend's name, I'm going to say something. I told you already, just do what you're doing. And as you said yourself, you weren't going to say anything because you don't want to lose friendships. Well, I'd advise you to do that. I'd advise you to just do your own news and not talk about anybody else's, or take little slight digs because you've been given new news now and say, well, this news verifies that Eddie Ascaro's not telling the truth. No, just do your fucking news and don't mention anybody's names. It's as simple as that. That's the way it should be done. Isn't that right, Alpha Omega? Anyway, that's the way it should be done. You know what I mean? You don't have to put news out there to say, well, this fella is wrong because, you know, that's not how it's done. You don't know if you're right. Anyway, your source.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Are you? I just hear a lot of clicking or sucking. I just wanted to ask you. Yeah, all right. Are you on oxygen or something? You don't want me asking you or something like that.
Who, me?
Yeah. Because it sounds like you're either sucking out of something, or it sounds like one of those oxygen tanks.
No, not now. I'm vaping sometimes.
Oh, that's what it is then. It's the vape. All right. It's a very all right. Is a normal vape, yeah? Or are you just fancy vape, if you know what I mean?
No, it's just a normal vape.
All right. Okay. No, because I just hear it sometimes and I'm like, what is that? Is that air? Has he got an air tank or something? Or oxygen tank?
No, I haven't for a while now, but yeah.
Yeah.
Here, I'll show you.
That's because it sounds like you're taking a breath of, you know, when you put the oxygen mask on and you're taking a deep breath. That's what it sounded like. So that's why I said I'd say.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're grand, man. I'm sure you probably hear my light and kicking. I was just making sure you're all right. That's all.
Yeah, I'm fine.
It's been to feel like it was in the 80s with the hatred with JNT. It's not as bad though, Mike. That's the thing. I mean, sorry. I mean, it wasn't as bad back in the 80s as it is now, I should say.
Well, yeah, right. There's always been disagreement with the showrunners and changes and
yeah,
actors and stuff like that.
Now.
Now it's, I think, another level.
Yeah, but you see, you've got social media now. That's the difference, you see. See, social media has made people, has given people, right, this is what social media has done. Do you know there's dickheads out there that shouldn't have an opinion because they're just dickheads and everything that comes out of their mouth is wrong? Well, that's what social media has actually managed to do. Give those dickheads a platform. And, you know, everybody now thinks they're entitled to an opinion, even when it's something that they're not versed in. And you see it a lot on social media. You know, I could be talking about my own country of Ireland, and then someone will come in and give me a history lesson. And I'm like, are you taking the piss? I'm Irish. You're giving me a history lesson on my country? Yeah, go and kiss your ass here. And by the way, all the facts that you gave were actually wrong. So if you're going to talk about my country, at least get your facts straight. So yeah, you get a lot of that. You get a lot of I know it all people. And this is what's happened with social media. Everybody's become a critic. I suppose I've become a critic as well. So I can't really, listen, I'm complaining about social media, but if there wasn't social media, I wouldn't be here. And I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. So in a way, I am criticized, but it has given everybody a chance, and it has dehumanized everybody as well, because everybody just sees an avatar. You know, they see an avatar and they see what you're right. You don't know what your personality is like. You don't know what your situation is like at home or whatever. You know, they don't know if you're going through personal problems, you know, all of that. So it does. Social media dehumanizes everybody, but that's why I think it's worse, because we do have social media and it's given those people a platform that wouldn't necessarily have a platform. Prime example, as he said, is President Trump. All I'm going to say on that, I don't want to get into politics, but all I would say is, as an American, right, if I was an American, I'm married to an American, all I would say is, if I was American, I'd be embarrassed about last night. I don't care whether you thought Trump won or not. I did think he won myself, but what did he really win? They might have won something, but the United States of America and its people certainly didn't win a thing. It was a disgrace by both of them. Absolutely rubbish. And I'm just going to say this, and then I'm going to leave it, because I have promised Cheryl I won't talk about it, and I'm not. But I will say this. The two choices that you have for President of the United States, the two of them are unfit for office. So I feel sorry for you, because you are actually not getting to choose the best person for the job. You are actually getting to choose the least lunatic. So good luck with that one. I don't envy you in November, but your country is fucked. It's fucked. Those two are an embarrassment. I'm sorry, even me, I'm a Trump. My wife would say I'm a Trump supporter. I'm a mouth for Trump. But even I am embarrassed by last night. It was embarrassing for Americans, and it should be. I mean, even on Twitter, the reaction after, what did we just watch? I mean, if that's what Americans are saying, you should be worried. That was supposed to tell you what they were going to do for the next 4 years, and all we got was a shouting match.
There was nothing new learned last night.
No, which means I hope for the second debate, apparently, now, and I'm going to leave it at that, because I don't want to talk, because Cheryl is in here and she is anti-Trump, big time, so you can understand where I'm coming from. You know, well, I'm just saying.
I know, but you also made me a promise.
Yeah, and I'm just bringing this. Yeah, well, I haven't. You were in the room when I spoke about it, so technically I kept my promise. You're the one that decided to come out and just stand there while I was talking about it. So, but anyway, all I'm going to say is, before this does actually proceed, we can't even mention the name of this house when it turns into an argument, because the two of them were a disgrace. So all I'll just say is that I don't envy you in November. I don't know who the right choice is. To be quite honest, I don't. After last night, I don't know who the right choice is. Before the debate, I would have said Donald Trump is going to, leave Joe Biden for dead, which he probably did, but Joe didn't, you know, but if Trump was fighting too and Biden was fighting his own mind, it's sad to say Biden is not going to be president for long anyway. Even if he does win, it'll be Harris. I don't know how anybody can't see that he's mentally lost it, but there you go.
Yeah.
But it is sad. It's a whole sad situation. I hope the second debate does give us a little bit more substance, because I'm being honest, I cannot do another debate like that where they're screaming at each other. And no, Donald Trump didn't prove any of these points either, so don't be doing that either. No, he didn't. No, he didn't, and neither did Joe Biden give us a plan. It was a screaming match. Nobody came out of this smelling of roses. Nobody did. So don't be making the two of them out that one was better than the other. The two of them are a national disgrace. You as American people should be embarrassed by what happened last night. That was embarrassing. The whole world was watching that. Right? The whole world was watching that and laughing. Right? That's the reality. Laughing at you all. Because that's the two fucking idiots that are going to be running the country for the next 4 years. One of them. Right? And they are two fucking idiots. And it doesn't matter whether you like Trump or not. He is a divisive cunt, and he always has been. Right? But Biden's no better. But they're the two fucking idiots you have now to choose between. And it's not pretty. I'm sorry. I've just, after last night, kind of got turned off. It was horrible to see. That's not what America. We shouldn't. That's not America. That's not true representation of the United States of America. Those two men. They're not. They're not. It's a disgrace. Disgrace. Should be ashamed. Should be ashamed. Hopefully the second debate though is more
Informative.
yeah. Even if it's more, listen, I don't mind if Trump goes on his rants and Biden goes on his rants, right? But there was just too much of it last night. I mean, Joe gave us no policies whatsoever. He couldn't tell us how he's going to fix the country. And on the other hand, you know, Trump was just shouting the same crap that we hear out of his mouth. And I'm sorry, it's kind of getting a bit old now. I want to hear stuff from you now. What you're going to do for the next 4 years is what I want to hear from him. And what I want to hear from Joe is what he's going to do in his first 4 years. But we didn't get that. So hopefully by the second one, because I heard apparently they're going to make, the commission says that there's going to be changes now. I would suggest a gag, but obviously you can't do that on television. So I suggest that they cut their mics out. You know, stop them from interrupting each other. But I will say one thing, Trump made Biden look like a little puppy last night. And he's not fit to run the country either. So I mean, yeah, you have a choice, and I don't envy you. Just, you know, I don't know. Lovely. I'll have a drink in his honor tonight. You know, great country, and we're just seeing it being destroyed right in front of our faces. It's actually sad. It's actually
It is.
It's actually, no, it is. I'm not even American, but I'm married to an American. I've always had this fondness for it, and I'm just watching it destroy itself, and it's sad. And it's sad. Well, let's see what happens in the next one. The next one is certainly going to be an interesting one anyway. But,
Are you ready to wrap things up?
yeah, I am. Do you want to do your shout outs and stuff? And
I got nothing to plug, but
not
it's,
social media.
yeah, I'm on Twitter. I got a YouTube channel, but no.
Kim, you free the weekend?
Starting again this weekend, I'll be working for like the next 4 weekends.
Because
I'd love to do streams with you, but
I was going to say, if you wanted to do one of the new Who or the classic stream Doctor Who with us, we do that every Saturday and Sunday. But if you can't do Saturday and Sunday, you can come on. We can do this again on now hold on now, because I don't want to make, because tomorrow now, see, this week is a little slightly different now, guys, because I'm doing a couple of pre-records on Rabbi's channel tomorrow, but I think they're going out tomorrow. Then I have my own stream Friday, then Saturday and Sunday, but I'm taking Monday off because me and Cheryl haven't had a chance to spend because I'm streaming again, obviously. So I'm going to be taking Monday off, and I don't do Tuesdays, as you know. So I'll be back Wednesday then. So if you're not available the weekend, the next time that I'll be doing the stream will be Wednesday. Will you be available Wednesday, Alpha Omega?
Yeah, that's good. I go back to work again tomorrow. I work 4 12-hour days, and then I have 4 days off in a row. So
Right.
I go back again tomorrow. My next day off will be Monday.
Right. Well, as I said, you're more than welcome Wednesday. As I said, this Monday I definitely have to take off, but then after that, every other Monday will be fine. So if you want to come on Mondays, because Monday is a kind of an open day. We kind of don't know what to do on Monday. So I might just stick with the panel because the panel that we did on Monday did very well, believe it or not. Everybody seemed to enjoy it. Some people said it was the best panel that they had seen from the channel. So listen, it's only the best panel because we had guests on like Alpha Omega, Irish Ninja, and Daniel, and all of the other guests that we had on. I mean, look, you are all used to me talking, but I'm not. Everybody comes and watches because who I bring on as well. And you know, if those guests aren't good, well, then the stream isn't going to be good. And I always get lucky there because everybody that I bring on is brilliant. So, you know, that's fantastic. This is why these streams are good. And yeah, I have to admit, I'm liking the Friday night talks. That's really Tardis Zone talks. That's really starting to kick on now. I think we're 4 weeks in now, and we've gotten over 500 views per stream, which is good for this channel.
Yeah, Friday seems to be good for you.
Yeah, so Fridays is doing well with that open forum. So, and the panel on Mondays seems to be doing well. The panel that me, Alpha Omega, and as I said, Irish Ninja Night were involved in. So Monday seems to be another popular one. So what I might do is I might have a permanent panel with the same guests on a Friday, and maybe bring on a like what Gary does for Friday Night Tights. Not the way he brings on the same panelists and then they bring on a guest each week on Friday Night Tights. We might do that. So I might get rope Alpha Omega in with that if he's available, and maybe Ninja Night, myself, and then we'll bring on a guest each week, and we'll do Monday nights. If you guys are on for it, actually, we could do a Monday night show with the whole lot of us. I think it would be good.
I'd be down with that.
No problem. Right. Well, listen. Plug your social media anyway, or whoever's channel. If you want to plug someone's channel, this is your chance now, and we'll finish it up. And listen, I just want to thank you again for coming on. I knew you'd pop in anyway. That's why I left the link in the chat. I says if Alpha Omega turns in, just pop in. We'll leave you the chat there. But so thanks for popping on tonight. I really appreciate you coming on. And
thanks for having me.
No problem, man. And as I said, anytime I'm on, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, like I said, I have a YouTube channel. There's nothing there really to see, but I have a Twitter, and I support Noel, Gary, also Doomcock. Check out his channel.
Yeah.
Other than that, just hope to see you again in the near future.
You will indeed. And listen, as I said to all my guests, thank you for joining me. Everybody in the chat, if there's any me moderators actually still around, could you do me a favor and just throw in Ninja Night? And I know Alpha Omega says he doesn't have much content on his channel, but if you could just throw that up there just in case he does decide to go back into it all, it's at least there'll be more subscribers waiting for you there if you do decide to come back. So if you could do that for me before we switch off, so we can get especially Ninja Night, obviously fellow Dub as well. His channel's doing well. He said he got lots of you actually subscribed to him, so I want to thank you on his behalf, because he lost his mic, so he couldn't come back on. So I just want to thank you on his behalf, because I'm planning on having a word with him actually because I was thinking, because we're two Irish lads and there's not many Irish people on doing this kind of stuff. There are Irish people on, but they're obviously doing other kind of stuff, like the Troy channel if you want to eat food and stuff like that. But doing stuff like this, there's not many Irish people. There's a few of us, but not many. So I'm thinking of maybe getting together with himself and seeing if we can come up with an idea for a show where the two of us can probably rotate on both their channels so he can get exposure as well. Because you know me, I'm all for promoting on this channel as well as me own. I don't even promote my own channel anymore, to be completely honest with you. You guys do that for me. But I will tonight. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. I appreciate it. And again, Alpha Omega and I think it was a Kip earlier on. Oh no, Nicholas Horton with the super chat. I really don't want to forget just so Alpha Omega and Nicholas Horton with the super chats. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Everybody in the chat as well. Thank you. Really appreciate it. And as I said, all my guests, and I think have those links been put up or has my moderators all gone to bed? I think my moderators are all gone. I think they're all gone to sleep. Oh, I kept them all up. Well, I don't normally. I used to stream this late, but everybody's used to me streaming earlier now. I think everybody forgot.
That's getting pretty late for you. It's only like 7:45 for me, but
yeah, it's 10 to 1 now here. Hold on, I'll just check you because I do know that you were saying that the chat was skipping. So I'm going to go in and check YouTube first before I go to see if anybody threw that link up. And Trent says, okay, see you later, Joel. Good night, everyone. Good night. It's actually Noel, Noel. I know you've caught me Joel for the last few weeks, but I didn't really want to say it. But just in case you kind of heard someone call me by my name, and you might have got it right. But I can see you're still calling me Joel. So I have to say something. It's Noel. Noel, Noel, or if you want to, some people call me Noel, by the way, but it's Noel. But thank you, Terence, because you're always quite nice on your videos as well, on my videos as well. So thank you for your kind words. Now, I know you need to go, Alpha Omega. I'm just checking this chat real quick to make sure that the link has gone up, because for some weird reason, it looks like my chat has gone dead. And it says there's and I've lost half of my viewers as well. Okay.
it's fine.
Actually, yeah, the chat on me YouTube is not up with me StreamYard. It's behind on my YouTube channel. Oh, there must be something going on with YouTube then. But listen, as I said, don't forget Ninja Knight and Alpha Omega, my channel, and who else? And every other person that obviously does be on over the weekend. Don't forget to sub them. Right, we're finished. Me and Alpha Omega are going to say goodnight to you now. And listen, we're getting, what day is it? Excuse me, what day are we on now?
Wednesday. We're here.
Wednesday. So we're getting close to the weekend already. Jeez, it only feels like we just finished one weekend. We've got another one coming up to us. So we'll enjoy the rest of your week. Stay safe, as they say. And listen, it might be crazy out there and a lot of madness happening, but at least we have each other to get ourselves through all of this. But it's been a pleasure.
Have a good week, everybody.
And you have a good week as well, Alpha Omega. And I will leave you with Lee's work. And of course, he hasn't been here tonight. But if you are looking for anybody to do a bit of work for you for your YouTube channel rebrand, as you can see here, the little avatar that I have on mine, that was created by Lee. And he's created the banners from the YouTube channel as well. And he's also created these 2 videos. Actually, who would like to see the world premiere? Well, some of you probably haven't seen it. Who would like to see the trailer before we go? It's 19 seconds. It's not even that long. Who would like to see the new trailer for the Tardis Zone Talks on Friday? Or would you like to wait till Friday?
I'd like to see it.
All right. Well, here I'm gonna put it on. Now we're not gone. So if everybody start when I put this on, it doesn't mean we're gone because it's not the right title sequence. Okay, just hang on for about 25 seconds till we come back and talk. I'm just gonna show you the trailer now. So here it is. Hopefully it doesn't skip because it normally does when there's people in the studio. But I'm hoping it doesn't. So here we go. This is the Tardis Zone Talks trailer for Friday. There you go.
Yeah, I like it.
There you go. So that was created by Lee, who some of you know as Problem Being. So he's the guy. He's the guy that creates all of this stuff. And the next trailer you're about to see, which is us now actually saying goodbye, is the trailer that he created for the channel. Because obviously when we were doing a rebrand, I wanted the trailer for the streams, and this was the one he created. Now he built this TARDIS from scratch as well. This is what's amazing about this. So enjoy it. Alpha Omega, thank you. Everybody in the chat, moderators, thank you very much. I will talk to you all again on Friday on this channel. I'm back on Rabbi's channel tomorrow. Rabbi has a couple of things actually planned, guys, for his channel, so look out for Rabbi's channel tomorrow because there's a lot going on, and we have a fun thing coming up for you all. It's Noel versus Rabbi, believe it or not, in a quiz.
All right.
Right. So yeah. So I have to pick me teammate, and Rabbi has picked Lee, which is a bit of a cheat because obviously they had discussed it. They actually spoke to me, so I had a bit of issue that he got to choose Lee because Lee would have been my choice, but Rabbi got there, so it doesn't matter anyway. They're up against the All-Ireland quiz champion me anyway, so I'll probably beat the two of them by myself anyway. I've already told them that they're going to lose, so yeah, bit of banter there, you know, bit of mind games, but yeah, there's plenty of stuff to go on, and he has some comic book stuff going on as well, which I'm going to be moderating. He's going to be bringing on comic book people as well. So check out for Rabbi's channel. I think what he's doing is we're recording them all, but they're going out the same day, if you know what I mean. I think the reason why we're doing the quiz is so there's no cheating. You know, there's nobody there. He'll premiere it, but we'll be all in the chat witches, if you get me. We just won't be it just won't be live because we don't want any cheating. Because obviously, if we're answering questions, someone could like put the answer in the live chat, and it's not going to work. You know what I mean? So we'll pre-record it, and it goes up that day then, and then we'll obviously come on into the live chat witches and have a laugh as you watch us mess up.
I'll check it out after work.
It's going to be fun. There's lots of fun stuff happening on people's channels. So, and check out Friday Night Tights after my show, the Tardis Zone Talks. I actually have been trying to get Gary to kind of, he already plugs the channel a lot, right? But I was kind of trying to get him, if he could, to kind of like let people know that this show is on before his. It's on a couple of hours before his. So 2 hours before him, he goes live, we go live. And then we kind of end when he's going live. So my whole thing was I asked him and all on Parler if he could even plug the show, let people know that there is something on for him before Friday for people if they want before Friday Night Tights. Because we won't be just talking Doctor Who. Friday we like to talk about other stuff as well. As you see, we spoke James Bond as well. So yeah, there's plenty of stuff we want to talk. Now I'm going to shut up now because I can hear Alpha Omega in the background, and that's my wife right now looking at me. She's going to hit me with a frying pan. So I better go. Say goodnight to you all. And this is Lee's work. Good night, Alpha Omega. Good night, everybody in the chat. And here we go.
Good night.